Com for details. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals for Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingles Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, and welcome into a
Football Friday.
Yeah, it has arrived. We've suffered. We suffered through action. We've just slugged through the entire week to get to this moment. This moment where we can make all the monies this weekend with Jeremy's Bangers.
We have some formidable bangers. Not giving out too many favorites this week. Okay. Got some
bunch of dogs.
Puppy dogs.
All right. I think it's going to be a great weekend. You got a lot of great matchups in the NFL. You got a lot in college football. It's going to be chock full weekend. You're going to have the Germany game.
That Brian Hall has already laid down the claim that the Miami Dolphins are winning.
Oh, yeah.
We'll let you know at the beginning of the next hour if we are on the same page. I will go ahead and tell you at least one of us is not.
Yes. Now.
But we're both on. There is one page that we're both on.
What is that?
Will Levis is starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans moving forward.
He's the dude.
That's not changing anytime soon.
Yeah, no. I was watching that game last night. I was going, Jeremy said that this guy was talented and that he was going to be okay when he gets to the NFL. And you know what? He looks every bit in the second start of his career as a guy who you could build on.
And he had 5 guys that I'm not sure shouldn't be working at the Home Depot playing offensive line in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the end of that game, there wasn't much left. 4 of their starting linemen from last night got hurt at some point last night.
Yep.
Against T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith, and he stood right in the face of it. And with time expiring, he had a shot to the end zone that could have won the game. Now, did that get intercepted? It did.
Yeah. Was it a bad throw? I mean, it looked like it to me. I'm not the expert, but when you're throwing to a guy who's surrounded by 3 dudes in the other jerseys, that doesn't look like a good idea.
Well, it's not a good throw, but you also got to look at the time.
Right.
It had to go in the end zone.
Sure. No,
so, I mean, I've only got so many choices here. And he had some bad throws. He had some rookie mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to. But I will definitively say this. Will Levis is the future in Tennessee.
No.
And for the second week in a row, I will say he should be playing ahead of Ryan Tannehill. And I think Ryan Tannehill knows that.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to his mic'd up, I don't think anybody's more excited for Will Levis than he is.
Yeah. Ryan Tannehill's just ready for this ride to be over. He's just, let me fade into oblivion here. I feel like there's no doubt now. There's no doubt that because the offense just moves so much more smoothly. When Will Levis is in there, you're opening up lanes for Derrick Henry to run through because you can't stack the box on him as much anymore.
Yes. It's if I'm Tennessee, I walk away from last night going, you know what? We're 0-4 on the road, but I can take away from last night that we definitively have a quarterback for the future. I'm going to give him the rest of the year and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Could it all come spiraling? Absolutely. That's always a risk with a rookie quarterback, but I've seen enough in 2 games to go, the arm talent is real. I really like the way that kid plays, and I'm seeing a lot on film in the NFL from what I saw at Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a handful of teams you boo-boo kiddied by letting this kid slide past you. I said it on draft night, I'll say it right now. And one of them is the team you played last night.
Wah, wah.
Oh, weird. Kenny Pickett, 19 of 30, 160 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
That sounds pretty similar to the line I gave you for what Kenny Pickett was going to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, there again, still found a way to win. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's the Pittsburgh Steeler way.
That bend don't break offense or defense that seemed to come into play last night. As long as you're not giving up touchdowns, you can win a game. Because that, in the end, is what it boiled down to. And now, does that make them a good team? No. It does not.
They're the worst 5-3 team I've ever seen, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Undeniably, they are the worst 5-3 team I've ever seen.
Yeah, possibly. They're not a good one. They're not a good 5-3.
Do you know the other teams that have 5 wins in the NFL right now? There's only a handful.
Okay.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat you 30-7.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, they would beat you 30-7. Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you see where I'm headed with it.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills. You're not in that class. And if you're being honest with yourself, you know you're not in that class. But you do keep winning games. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. I don't know exactly what you think that's going to lead to.
The Steeler way. Right? 9-8. Let's go. We're just mediocre as hell.
Can we call that Mike Tomlining from here on out?
Yes.
Hey, we're 1 game above 500, and we just barely missed the playoffs, or just barely made it, and then got shellacked in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. Kenny Pickett is not the guy. We know that. I mean, and last night was even more on display than it's ever been for Pittsburgh, or it should have been anyway. If you were watching that game last night as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and you were watching Will Levis sling it around like he was, and then you're watching your guy come out there, it's quite obvious that there's a big difference between one and the other. And,
no doubt.
And one is a future starting quarterback in this league. The other one is a future backup at best.
He's a future owner of an Allstate insurance agency.
Eventually. He'll get there. Just keep putting in the years, buddy.
Just all you got to do, keep getting that name out there.
Yeah.
You're in – I can see the commercial now. You're in good, tiny hands with Kenny Pickett Allstate. I hadn't done that in a minute.
Yeah. There are problems with Pittsburgh. And they –
Look, the secondary was better last night. The pass rush got home. That's all well and good. It didn't change anything that I felt going into last night. I come out of this game feeling exactly the same way that I did going into it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be that team that stays at the bottom of that graphic for the entire season. And to me, that is the most hopeless feeling in all of football. I would rather be the New York Giants right now than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how you get out of this. You took Pickett in the first round. You have to keep doing it. He keeps winning games. You can't really make any adjustments. Everybody keeps talking about firing Matt Canada because the offense is so unbelievably easy to predict. You can't fire him. You keep winning games. You go 9-8, guess what? You're going to do this again next year.
I don't know that they will.
I
don't know if
scoreboard.
I don't know if they'll keep
keeps
doing
happening.
Oh, I know it keeps happening, but eventually you have to put a stop to it, right? If the pressure is so great, you have to do something.
Mike Tomlin is an incredibly loyal guy. He always has been.
But
you want real change, you want to lose games.
Yeah, but even those relationships get thinned out over time.
History with Mike Tomlin says that's not true.
Okay.
If you stay competitive for the playoffs, you'll just lather up and do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Sports Podcast said, how do the Giants get out of it? You draft playmakers. Now, do I think the Giants can do that? No. Do I think the Pittsburgh Steelers can do it? No. Because I look around and go, they made a lot about Broderick Jones last night, and he was fine. Mm-hmm. But I look at the rest of the line and go, free agent, free agent, free agent, guy you drafted, guy playing out of position. Darnell Washington, he's a big tight end he's exactly what we told you he was.
Yep.
He's a big sixth offensive lineman that can catch.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got players, but is that a roster that really does anything for me? No. And you're pretty much stuck in it because you're going to keep drafting in the 15 to 20 range as you have done, and it's this vicious cycle.
But that means you have to go in for a quarterback. You have to get on the market, trade market, whatever it is, to try to find a quarterback, whoever that is.
And they won't. We committed a first-round pick to the – no.
Oh.
Because, and look, the history of the NFL tells you that I'm right.
That they'll be happy with just continuing to do this. Just continuing to barely be over 500. Barely over 500. And just have a stagnant offense and continue to do this? No. They got to shake things up somehow.
And they won't.
Yeah.
You keep talking about the Steeler way. That's the Steeler way. They hung on to Ben Roethlisberger for how many years past when he was actually a relevant NFL quarterback?
Yeah, but at least
he's a legend.
At least they were still winning more than this, though.
Not by much.
You were
10-6.
They were. I mean, what they were? There was the what right before it went completely off the rails. They went 11-0, right, and then they lost all those games at the end of the season. Yeah, I get it, but I'm still winning 11 games is better than 9. And just being mired in mediocrity. That doesn't scream Steeler football to me.
You've won a playoff game in 12 years.
Has it been that long?
I believe that's what I'm looking at here.
Wow.
If not, it's 2.
I get it.
Let's see. They've won 3 playoff games since 2010.
Yes.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I mean, and if you want to keep being relevant, that's fine. I just don't really know what it is that I'm supposed to feel warm and fuzzy about.
Yeah.
You've got decent receivers, a running back that you confusingly took in the first round, and you got a couple edge rushers. Outside of that, Minkah Fitzpatrick, who you traded for, several veteran retreads, and that has 7 seed in the AFC written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not competitive. You're not going to go into Buffalo and beat the Bills. You're not going to go into Kansas City and beat them.
Oh, no. I'm thinking more of
for
the
me,
future
it's just, what is the point? I mean, do you walk away from last night going, oh, we got another win. We're 5-3. Awesome. Or do you walk away going, I just feel stuck.
Mm-hmm.
4 of the last 5 years, this team has won either 8 or 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Nope. I don't either. But is that good enough? Is that good enough?
It's not for me.
To keep everything copacetic, as you said. If they continue to do this, will they hold on to Matt Canada? Will they do just status quo and we'll just move on and continue to do this? I don't think so. I think they would want to go and find another offensive coordinator. They would want to kind of freshen things up a little bit. Mike Tomlin would go nowhere. He's in no danger. I don't feel like. He's the leader of the team, right? And so you make changes underneath him to kind of freshen things up, and you go out and you get a quarterback. I don't know where that comes from. Is this the team that makes a play for Kirk Cousins? I don't know. Bringing in a veteran quarterback could be great for this team. It would help things run better, get the most out of your young receivers.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. No, I'm telling you they're not going to do that.
There's nothing you can do this season to fix it.
No.
But in the offseason, you got plenty of opportunity to do that. Until then, win all the games you can. I mean, win all the games you can.
Do it.
Let's go.
I'm sure it'll make you feel hunky-dunky. Awesome.
It will.
We're winning games. I there is no team in the NFL that I look at and go, oh, 16, 17, 18, more than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Andrew Ayers with a good point here. The last person to throw Deontay Johnson a touchdown pass was Ben Roethlisberger.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Before last night.
Congratulations to Kenny Pickett for ending that drought. A couple of seasons without a touchdown. It is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Hoping that there's more action than that in most of the games this weekend because, I mean, it was pretty droll watching the field goal fest until the end of the game. And then you had the flurry of action. And, again, Pittsburgh takes down the Tennessee Titans. We both missed that game.
Yeah, by half a point.
Yeah. Yeah, so not looking good. We will do all of our picks, of course, coming up later on in the program. Jeremy has taken the lead in the contest.
I have taken the lead, I don't plan on relinquishing it.
Well, we shall see. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Here is Cherokee Center in Asheville, November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville, November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
OMG, hot and crisp nacho fries are back, and there's even more fries to love now at Taco Bell. But it's now or never. Yeah, these fries covered in bold Mexican spices with nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last.
'Tis the season when you're in the mood for holiday music. Listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingles Markets.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Get the best new deals all month long when you shop Black Friday every day at Lowe's. Get a Craftsman V20 drill kit or impact driver kit for just $59. Valid through 11/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Todd?
It's ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy. We're seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. You can also vote in our polls. We put all the game matchups throughout the Football Friday program here, so you can weigh in on your picks. Last week in the Pick'em Challenge, the house won the week. They tied with Jeremy.
Yes.
On the week. So both you guys were 8, 6, and 2 last week. I didn't do too well.
No, last week was not a banner week for you.
I mean, 6, 8, and 2 is not horrible. At least I had Detroit on Monday night, and that kind of made the week look better. But it was not a great day for me. But, I do that. Up and down. Congratulations to Jeremy, though. It's the first week he's won since week 1 of the season. And now has the overall lead in the Pick'em game. So
which is the way it should be and the way it's going to stay.
We'll be going through all of the matchups, all the previews, all the picks against the spread coming up in the 1 o'clock hour after the top of the
My
hour.
Computer's going a little haywire.
Yes.
I saw the look on your face. I'm working on it.
No, I'm just out here tap dancing because I know those clicks. I know what those clicks sound like. See, I'm a pro. I've been here long enough where I know, okay, he's dealing with some stuff over there, so we need to just kind of promo the contest, DFS contest. That went well for me last week. I finished number 1 in the standard contest, so I qualified for the playoffs, automatic bid for the playoffs. I did finish 21st in the eliminator contest, though, and that was last. So finished first in one, last in the other. That's the way my fantasy week goes.
And that may be the only time anybody ever does that.
It's just the way it goes, right? Got the daily draft coming up at the top of the 2 o'clock hour here on the program, picking where we're going to go this weekend in college football and pro football. I feel like there's going to be a lot of college matchups taken to this weekend, or at least in the daily draft.
I tend to agree. There's a handful of really good NFL games and a handful of really good college
I was going
games.
to say, at least we've got there's a batch to actually pull from.
Oh, no doubt.
This isn't one of those weeks where you get 4 games in and you go, okay, now I want to see Missouri and Arkansas. There is enough good matchups to go around. Is anything going to come out of this Big Ten pressure? Big Ten's facing a lot of pressure right now with Jim Harbaugh.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it is you expect people to do.
I don't know. I mean, we know what they want. They want to shut down Michigan. The opposing teams want to shut Michigan down.
But I mean, can you do that? Just solely, the only time that the conference has ever intervened in something like this was when you had that fight in the tunnel between Michigan and Michigan State.
Right.
That was a completely different scenario.
Absolutely. This is the fun integrity of the game argument.
And I get it. I said from the get-go, I refuse to believe that Jim Harbaugh didn't know something about it. There's a video out today that looks like Hunter Stallions is telling him they're bringing pressure, and I believe that was against Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought edge pressure on the next play. That's kind of a damning piece of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't know what you're supposed to do. I mean, you want to bowl ban Michigan? It's never been done in the history of the sport. You're setting a precedent, and it is a terrifying one.
I don't know that that's necessarily what they want.
According to Twitter, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Is that coming from sources, or is that what the fans want?
Well, I mean, I'm not on the call with the ADs, so I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's suspend Jim Harbaugh, I don't really know what that accomplishes.
Well,
because you're leaving people on the field that obviously knew.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're going to eradicate the entire coaching staff, then you're just cutting off the head of the snake.
But isn't that what we're always after? We're just after the guy, the figurehead.
So,
who's
all
going to
right.
be the guy on the chopping block?
All right,
here?
so let's play a fun game. Let's say you suspend Jim Harbaugh. Michigan goes to the college football playoff and wins it, and it comes out that Mike Hart was the guy that was actually behind all of this.
Yeah.
Does that not make you look more foolish? He's the guy that's hoisting the trophy, and that's the guy that you let lead the team. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense now, does it?
Yeah, I don't know. I really
I'm a big
say
fan
what
of
the
guilty
answer is.
of innocent until proven guilty. And the NCAA has shown over the years it takes 2 solid years
But that's why
to
the
adjudicate
pressure,
any
but
of this.
that's why the pressure is coming on the conference to do this. This is outside of the NCAA. The conference itself can issue some kind of penalty. Now, what that could be, I don't know. Can they look at Michigan and go, you know what, you're ineligible for the Big Ten championship this year? That'd make a difference, right? That would shut this down. Suspend Jim Harbaugh indefinitely, basically give them like a death penalty.
But then you're punishing
season.
but then you're punishing players that had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, well, sometimes I guess you got to break a couple of eggs. I'm not saying it's the fair thing to do. I'm not saying that's what I'm rooting for.
It also puts a huge cloud over your playoff. Yeah. Because no matter who wins it, you took out the team that was the best team in the country.
But were they the best team in the country because they were the best team in the country, or were they best team in the country because
I can't answer that. Now, do I think do I think that's a ludicrous argument? Yes,
I do too. I do too. I look at the talent of this team, I look at the coaching of this team and go, you know what, maybe they had the heads up on a couple of plays. Were they cheating? Okay, yeah, but I mean, they didn't win, right? They didn't win a title because of it. Last year, they got smoked.
And if you believe TCU's coaching staff, it was actually used against them.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody and their brother knew this, and then nobody said it until they were 7-0.
Yep.
That's another part of this that really sticks in my craw for some reason.
Mm-hmm. It's gross, and I don't know what the Big Ten should do in this scenario. I would think a suspension for Jim Harbaugh. I don't know what that could be. Indefinite suspension.
Well, to me, you know
now.
where the suspension talk's coming from, right? It's because they're looking at him going, "You're just going to escape to the NFL after this season.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do something right now, or you're never going to be punished for this.
Absolutely,
because you're going to sneak out the back door and end up in LA.
No doubt.
Now, I will tell you this: there is a precedent that the NFL will enforce whatever that punishment was, because they've already done it. That was with Jim Tressel. He was suspended 6 games by the NCAA. He had already been let go at Ohio State. He went to the NFL. He was an analyst with the Colts, and then he didn't show up until week 7.
Right.
And it was never specifically said that the NFL did that. The Colts weren't going to allow him to be there, but we all know where that came from.
Right.
They didn't just go, hey, you know what? We're going to pay this guy and tell him to sit at home for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
No, that was do the right thing here.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that was from on high, or maybe that was the organization saying it's the right thing to do, because sometimes the right thing to do is the thing that you should do, right? The right thing to do here, I feel like, would be Jim Harbaugh just says, you know what, I'm done. Just walk away. But he's not going to do that, and I don't expect him to do that.
No.
He's going to be the coach of this team as long as they allow him to be. And I feel like the Big Ten should step in some fashion and say something. Now, they may do it. There's still time, though. See, first it started with the coaches, and the coaches got on the video call with the Big Ten aficionados, shot callers, what was that, Wednesday night. And then last night, it was the AD's turn, and now all the ADs got onto him. Today is the president's call. So now it's the presidents of all the universities of the Big Ten that are going to be calling for some action to be taken by the conference. And then the conference is going to hold another call with the NCAA shot callers and what they know about their investigations and all of that kind of thing. I think with the buildup of all of the things, right, it's not just this scandal, right? It's the last 2 scandals that you've gone through as well. The Big Ten would be justified in coming in and saying, you know what, Jim, we're going to give you some time off.
And I just don't agree with you.
Yeah.
I want the investigation to be handled. You've never done it this way before. And look, this is really a no-win solution because I understand what you're saying. I just don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
I get that the ADs, there should absolutely be a punishment. I don't see how you're going to do it in season. This has been a problem with the NCAA as long as I've been alive. Of USC, perfect example. Pete Carroll did a lot of things that you were not opposed to do. Who got punished for it? Not Pete Carroll. And I'm just looking at a room full of kids here that signed on to Michigan, now have a legit shot at a national title, and now you're going to take them out of the fold or take their head coach or whatever because they did something. That doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Especially when I would wager probably 10% of what's actually going on here. That's the part that bothers me. If you've gotten to the end of the investigation, Jim Harbaugh knew, all these guys knew, all right, I'm going to wager the entire coaching staff knew. So what do you do now? Are we just done? Michigan, well, that's the end of the year because you don't have any coaches left. Let's bring back Lloyd Carr or who was that other moron they had for an extended period? Brady Hoke.
Bring in Lou Holtz. Let him do it.
We're going to do things the right way here at Michigan. There will be no side stealing of any form. Nope. We're going to run the triple option with these fantastic running backs we got here at Michigan University.
Yep. He's equipped to do it. Let's bring back Lou Holtz. I've never wanted anything more in my life now. Lou Holtz coaching football in 2023.
Hearing him say J.J. McCarthy would be something. Would be a real fun press conference every week.
No doubt. You are in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Football Friday continues next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure locked in. Temperatures gradually warming up. Now today, sunshine. We're in the low 60s. Mid-60s is average. Tonight, mostly clear. Low near 30. That's cold. We should be in the upper 30s. Here's where we change things up. Sunshine Saturday up to 68. Upper 30s Saturday night for the low. Sunday brings sunshine, and we are headed to the upper 60s, and we get warmer from there. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG, hot and crisp nacho fries are back, and there's even more fries to love now at Taco Bell. But it's now or never. Yeah, these fries covered in bold Mexican spices with nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
Cut. Let's try something fresh like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Get in the spirit with 50% off everything for a limited time during the holiday preview event, now through November 13th at Banana Republic Factory. From merino wool sweaters to luxe outerwear, explore our favorite styles to give and to get.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts. Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations.
It's free. I love iHeartRadio.
Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy on a football Friday. And just a bit outside here. And, we should let's just stick with football. Hunter Renfrow speaking after his coach got traded. Did you see what he had to say?
After his coach got fired?
Or excuse me, did I say traded?
You did.
I meant to say fired. After his coach got fired. Speaking to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, they're asking him what he thought about the change, and he said basically it's about damn time. He said that he thinks that Antonio Pierce is going to let them be different players. It's just time to let our hair down, have a little fun again on this football field. It's weird that that's the exact same thing every player in Denver said when Josh McDaniels left.
Yes.
How did you not see this coming? How did you think this was ever a good idea?
Well, it's comical almost that as many stories as I heard, some of which I told on this show, how did it take you this long to fire him?
Yep. Renfrow said just wanting to have fun playing football again and not walking around on eggshells everywhere. Said that he really made us feel like we were kids. And that. There's no way to run an adult locker room.
That has been I think that is now the fifth head coach that's been said about. It's been said about McDaniels twice. They said the same thing about Matt Patricia in Detroit. Said the same thing about Eric Mangini in New York. Said the same thing about Romeo Crennel. Said the same thing about Charlie Weiss. This is not hard to figure out.
Nope. And I give Renfrow all the credit for speaking the truth, and maybe his career will get resurrected now.
You know what else is not hard to figure out?
What's that?
That Ric Flair's too old to be doing things. Why are we doing this again?
Oh, what'd he do?
He just signed a 2-year deal with AEW. I don't know what it entails. It's a very long press release that doesn't really say much of anything. But if you're telling me that he's getting back in a wrestling ring, he's had like 7 retirement matches, okay? Yep. I saw one of them.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels with the, I love you, I'm sorry. That was the perfect end. And then we had 5 more.
Now, maybe he's not wrestling, though. I mean, hopefully they're going to, God, please don't let them put him in there to wrestle.
Well, he showed up at AEW Dynamite as a surprise from Tony Khan to help Sting prepare for his final match. In the spring, I see where this is going. I did this with wrestling for too long. It's entirely too easy to call out. Yep, he's going to be in Sting's corner and all the things are going to be great. And then he's going to turn on him. And he'll be involved in some shape, form, or fashion for the love of all that's good and holy. Nobody, don't give it to somebody's people. No. He's also got an energy drink coming out called Woo.
Yes.
It's Woo Energy.
And you're going to have all of them.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
It's probably got sugar in it. I'm not allowed to have sugar. I instead will have these lovely sugar-free monsters.
Hey, there you go.
They come in a variety of lovely flavors.
In case you haven't heard.
Including the Beast Unleashed, which you can get where beverages are sold.
Indeed. It's a great little drop-in by you. A 2-year contract for Ric Flair to do wrestling things. It's all promotions. It's not. He's not out there taking bumps now.
Well, you would have thought that before. But this is how this always goes. Hey, we're bringing back Ric Flair. Ric Flair's a manager now. Ric Flair gets involved, and he's fighting. No. I mean, that is somebody's people, and you don't need him taking big chops.
Listen,
no.
Space Mountain's broken, okay? He tries to do that little face flop one more again. He's going to break both hips, and we're all going to be in a world of hell.
No doubt. Yeah, Space Mountain at this point needs a 4th facelift.
Right.
At this point, Ric Flair looks like a Halloween decoration that you're just trying to hold on to for way too long.
I mean, the day Ric Flair started doing ED pill commercials, I was like,
Well, he started doing the commercials when he needed them. Space Mountain needs a little pick-me-up.
Of course it does. I would think the only way it could happen before that is with a wooden splint. So I don't. Of course he needs help.
Yeah. He's got 2 popsicle sticks and 3 Band-Aids. I'm still as good as I once was. No, you're not.
He bruises easily now. He needs a lot of help. You're in the Sportsocracy. It's the ESPN Asheville. Today's dumbassery. Of course, always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings. Matchup of the weekend. I just saw this, and I think matchup of the weekend for me might be Jalen Ramsey against Travis Kelce. He says it could happen.
Oh, it can definitely happen.
He says
who else are you going to put him on?
We've been working on the film. Him and Vic Fangio have been working on the film.
Don't do that. Fangio. Vic Fangio.
And Travis Kelce, the answer to locking him down could be Jalen Ramsey.
I never suspected anything else.
No one has ever done it before, and I'm going to say I don't think he's going to do it.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Oh, the Jets put Sauce Gardner on him, so if you're about to say nobody's put their best corner on him, that's just not true.
No, I mean, like, shut him down where he's irrelevant.
Sauce Gardner did a pretty good job of it.
Was he irrelevant?
I think he had 47 yards in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that it?
It wasn't much. Now, Isaiah Pacheco ran for 160, which I'm still a little salty about.
You should be. You should be. That kind of came out of nowhere.
6 for 60 is what he had against the Jets.
There you go.
Didn't get
which is not a Travis Kelce
Kelce day.
That's right. That's the floor. That's the floor for me.
He does that because he put his helmet on and got his pads put on correctly.
And he was all out of sorts because his girlfriend wasn't there. Oh, God, what's he going to do now?
Oh, she was there.
I bet
that was against the Jets. She was there.
No, I meant last week.
Oh,
she wasn't there.
I don't
last
care.
week.
Oh, she's not going to be in Germany, and that means the Chiefs are going to lose. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree for the square.
They're 0-1 without her. You never know.
Oh, good Lord.
Never know. That stat will only be repeated 800 times on Sunday morning.
Which is why I'm glad we'll be doing a fantasy show, and I won't be able to hear it.
Deshaun Watson. What's the story on him? Is he going to play?
He's practiced, so I'm assuming he's going to play, but I haven't heard a definitive on that.
I would hope so.
I don't really know if it changes anything.
Really? I mean, he hasn't been good.
8 of 10 games, he's been a sub 50 QBR kind of quarterback.
Mm-hmm. But you still hold on to the possibility, right? You still hold on to the potential here. I mean, maybe.
What does it change?
Maybe it's going to pop.
Do you actually think it changes the game plan at all? Because I don't. I mean, I've watched games with PJ Walker. I've watched games with Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. It does not really seem to affect what Cleveland does one way or the other.
True. I mean, they're going to pound it, right? It doesn't matter who they have.
That's the goal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who they have. They're going to run the football down your throat. So, no, but it's always just looking at that high side of what this could be.
I mean, how far away from that do you have to get before you – I mean, I felt like I was one of the most vocal detractors of this, saying, I've seen the good, we're going to get back to that. How far away do you get away from that before you go, maybe that's not coming back?
I don't know.
Maybe that's just not coming back.
I don't know. I'm not there yet. That's the only thing I can tell you.
I'm not going to say I'm definitively there, but I'm getting pretty close.
Well, you have to. As the days go by and it doesn't show back up, you go, oh, well, maybe this is over. Maybe all of those people who I called crazy weren't crazy after.
Oh, I'll readily admit when I was wrong, and I'm
so far we're wrong.
I'm 97% to the okay. You're right. Yeah, the Deshaun Watson thing, that's going to be one of the grossest contracts in NFL history, and I don't know that he's ever going to be that guy.
A satisfied Browns fan nailed it. DPJ's gone, and that's
it's
a bigger problem than you think, Jeremy.
8 catches. He had 8 catches the entire year. For an amount of yardage that would not have gotten you from where I'm sitting right now to my car.
SBF also says that he will play this week. He said he's going to make sure he plays.
Personally?
Yeah, I guess. Look, don't do crimes, okay? Don't do anything illegal. You know, if you have to follow him around with a boombox or something, playing his songs to make sure that he goes out there and is motivated, then you do that.
Did you just go say something?
I did. Say anything.
Say anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a whole nother joke. I'm a little out of sorts today. I'm not gonna lie to you. And
it's important. If you see something, say something, Jeremy.
We're 44 minutes in, and this is already off the rails, as it always seems to find a way to be.
Well, I mean, because it's the end of the week, right? And we're all just so excited for the weekend.
It is, and this has been a long weekend. I have absolutely nothing planned except sitting my keister on my couch and watching football.
Yep. And it's going to be a full menu tomorrow. I mean, from noon on tomorrow, there's a game somewhere.
Yeah. I
that's
have
worth
to ask
watching.
I have to ask this question because we don't. You get bangers, but you don't get as much analysis on the college games.
Mm-hmm.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being as worried as you are about, I don't know, ED, and 10 being how worried you are about heart disease, where are you on the scale of worried about Missouri? Don't ask me why that was the first thing that came to my mind.
I'm glad it was. I mean, I'm glad that because that's not a worry that I have currently, so I'm happy about that. Yay me. I'm 40 at 41. If that's not a worry for you yet, that's a check on the box. Like, yes. Anyway, I would say I'm going back and forth between a 4 and a 6 because part of me is kind of concerned about not having faced a team that's as good as this yet this season. I think they will be a challenge on defense, but I think more they're a challenge on offense for us than they are anything. And I know that sounds weird because the offense hasn't been the greatest part of Georgia's game this year. It's been the defense that's been the thing. You haven't really faced an elite passer or an elite wide receiver.
And Missouri passes the ball really well.
They pass the ball really well, and this will be the first big test for that secondary. Which last year, remember, I felt like that was the weakness on that defense. Yes, it was a championship defense, but still, there was the weakness where I thought you're going to get caught. And remember, Ohio State almost caught you.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State was just that close to ending that little streak. So I would say I'm a medium worried.
So you're a 5.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think that feels a little low to me.
I feel like that undersells it though, so maybe I should bump to 5.5 to 6. I don't know.
Would you like to guess how worried I am about Pittsburgh?
0.
Yes, I'm worried more about male pattern baldness than I am about the Pittsburgh Panthers. And I don't know if you've ever seen my hair. Not something I'm particularly worried about.
No. The only reason you should be worried about it is if somebody with male pattern baldness was trying to rub their head on you or something.
Yes.
That's when it's
That's the only reason that one even registers on the scale.
It's frightening to me. Don't do weird things.
We've lost one contender for the playoff every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Every week we've lost one.
We have.
Do you see one that is potentially on upset alert this week? I think Missouri State's close to Georgia. I don't know that they're a risk to beat them.
Yes. I feel like there is one that's at risk.
And who is that?
You're probably going to tell me I'm crazy, but it's Washington.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Okay. Look, I know Caleb Williams against top 50 defenses. He hasn't been great against one yet. And if he did it this time, it would be the first time. There's a first time for everything, right? Is there not a path, a logical path, to Caleb Williams coming out and having a good game, and they outscore Washington? In a thriller, same kind of thing as Oregon and Washington was. It goes down to the wire. Both these teams score in the 40s, and it just comes down to whoever has the ball last.
Because is there a path of that? I suppose.
It's the only conceivable path I see to losing a contender this
Well,
week.
Washington is the definition of that really stupid phrase that you use that makes me super angry.
Mm-hmm.
The bend don't break, because they're top 25 nationally in points allowed.
Yep.
But they still allow over 400 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, to me, the over in that game is the easiest bet I think I've ever seen.
It's 76.5.
Don't care. I wouldn't have cared if it was 96.5. I'd take it.
Really?
They scored 99 with Cal. USC is horrifically bad defensively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see – see, that's one of those that I don't see a path Washington loses.
Okay.
Because the offenses are pretty close to each other. The defenses are not even close. So you have this big of an advantage on one side of the ball. I just struggle to believe that Caleb Williams could score every single time he has the ball.
Mm-hmm. Because Washington will.
I also really feel like they've quit.
USC?
Yes. I watched more of Cal than I should have.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about a team that just looked like they rolled over and died.
And maybe so. I mean, there was – I don't think he ever talked about it, but I think it was mentioned that Caleb Williams should just shut it down. He's got nothing left to play for.
Oh, he's mentioned it because he said he's not going to do it.
Well, I mean, I think he mentioned it because somebody said – I think it might have been Emmanuel Acho or somebody
That's been
said
out there since they lost their first game.
Right. But I'm saying maybe that has an effect.
And
right?
I'll just go ahead and tell you. Let me say as clearly as I can. Caleb Williams, I really highly advise you don't shut it down. Because there are a lot of evaluators like me that have a lot of questions about you.
We'll see. Eventually, you got to step up and you got to put a good game on tape against a good team. And so maybe that's this week for Caleb. I mean, I'm grasping at straws here because I honestly don't think there's a chance that any of the other top contenders lose. I mean, Georgia would be the closest, but I feel like at worst that's a touchdown game. It'll be comfortable in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I don't think I
mean,
am.
Alabama would have been mine.
Yeah, I don't really consider them a contender. I know mathematically they are.
Oh, no doubt.
Still a contender because the top of the West, and if they were to win the SEC championship, okay, I get it.
Yeah, one-loss Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC title game, they're in.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're in. I don't know who they're going to take out. They'd find a way.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels like the game of the weekend to me. LSU, Alabama, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it will.
Now, unfortunately, I won't get to see it because, they're not going to play it in the Pat McAfee Red Zone telecast.
So stop.
Oh, shoot.
You got picture-in-picture. You can...
I do have DC Streams, which allows me to watch two things at one time.
Oh, yeah. You put the quad box up there with the Pat McAfee cast and all of the other games
That's
on?
getting the sound for sure.
The McAfee cast?
No doubt.
No doubt. Absolutely. You want more information? We can hook you up with our guy with DC Streams. Get everything. All of them. You never miss a sporting event.
Ever.
All of it live.
I watched Polish table tennis last night. At least I think that was the...
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fluent in other languages. Most people would say I'm not fluent in English. Didn't understand a word, but I bet on it.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Take a break. When we come back, Jeremy's bangers for the weekend. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets.
Don't let unused insurance dollars go to waste. Most insurance plans cover 2 dental cleanings and exams each year before expiring on January 1st. Maximize the dental insurance benefits you're already paying for and schedule your exam today with Asheville Smiles. Dr. Merrill's mission is world-class dental through technology and research. You'll get the most advanced treatment with the comforts of home. Schedule your exam now now before the end of the year rush. AshevilleSmiles.com. That's AshevilleSmiles.com.
Are you a student ready to embark on your journey towards financial independence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Trailhead Student Checking is a high dividend checking account designed exclusively for students aged 16 to 23. Your path to financial freedom begins at Mountain Credit Union. Start building a solid foundation for your future and enjoy the benefits that come with being a part of the Mountain Credit Union family. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
With Black Friday appliance savings all month long at the Home Depot, we're making the holidays merrier by making holiday hosting easier with our lowest prices of the year on Whirlpool kitchen appliances. Get everything you need to store all your holiday favorites
Dinner's ready.
And the leftovers with top brand kitchen appliances at a great value. Save up to $2,300 on select kitchen packages, including top brands like Whirlpool with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
We all know I'm not a big fan of favorites. It's not what I do. But this week, there are a couple favorites that I feel really good about. Start with Ole Miss. They're a 3-point favorite against Texas A&M. Let me say that again because I don't feel like you heard what I just said. Texas A&M, who can't score, they're good defensively. I get that. I'm well aware of that. They can't score, and they're a 3-point dog to Ole Miss. That's dumb. Because you could tell me Ole Miss was playing the 2001 Baltimore Ravens, and if they had the Texas A&M offense, I don't really care. They'll score eventually, and Texas A&M probably won't. Give me Ole Miss minus the 3. One of my favorite punching bags. One of my favorite punching bags in college football is the Clemson Tigers, and this is not going to be a great week for you. You're at home against Notre Dame, who's really good defensively and going to run the ball down your throat with Audric Estime. Notre Dame minus the 3. Oregon State's a 13-point favorite at Colorado. All I really need to know, will Oregon State score 14 points? Because if they will, this number is dumb, da-dum-dum, da-dum-dum-dum. Give me the Beavs minus 13. And we have a tradition around here. It's my favorite pick of the week, and this is the grossest one ever. It's the achy breaky, no mistakey, and this week I'm taking the Iowa Hawkeyes minus the 5 at Northwestern. But that's not the achy breaky, no mistakey part of this. It's under 30.5. It went up a point. That's all I needed. I swear to you, you could have told me this was under 20.5. I would seriously have considered taking it. Iowa minus the 5, under 30.5. You can take all those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. You get 125% of whatever you put into the account and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
We got the top of the hour coming up in just a few seconds here, and hang with us because we will have all of your picks for the weekend. The game previews coming your way as I will try to figure out a way to unseat Flostradamus in the Pick'em game once again this week. Stick with us.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure locked in. Temperatures gradually warming up. Now today, sunshine. We're in the low 60s. Mid-60s is average. Tonight, mostly clear. Low near 30. That's cold. We should be in the upper 30s. Here's where we change things up. Sunshine Saturday up to 68. Upper 30s Saturday night for the low. Sunday brings sunshine, and we are headed to the upper 60s, and we get warmer from there. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles Studio.
We are the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can see us everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, get your picks in for the weekend. You can vote in all of the polls. Keep track of the House of Reprehensible picks each and every week. Last week, you guys were pretty good. 8, 6, and 2. It was good enough to tie Flostradamus for the win in the Pick'em game. It's not a great week for me. I lost 2 games to you, so I gave up the lead in the contest. And now Jeremy has a 1-game lead for the year. So it's time to make amends. And last night didn't help either of us. We both had the Tennessee Titans, minus the 3.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, of course, they did not cover. They lost by 4.
Of course they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they did.
Yep. So, we start off this week with, of course, the Germany game. Kansas City
Which means
Chiefs.
I have to get up really early on Sunday. And I'm glad we're only doing this 2 more times because I'm really sick of getting up at 7 o'clock on Sundays.
Yeah.
I had a little reprieve for a week and was right back at it.
Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs in Frankfurt. And is it still going to be the big wind fest that
They have a retractable roof. I did not know that until earlier today.
Okay. All right. So if weather is a problem, they'll have the roof on. I guess because it was calling for like 30-mile-an-hour winds in Frankfurt for Sunday. So that won't be a problem.
That won't be a problem. No.
Okay.
I still like the under in this game, just to be clear.
Do you?
I do.
Why?
I do. Well, that Kansas City offense is not quite as prolific as they have been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
52 is a lot. That's a lot of points. And I'm just not sure this is going to be the cavalcade of points that everybody else seems to think it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost like a Thursday night game because with the travel, it's not going to be a normal week. Miami got out there earlier than Kansas City. I'm not 100% sure I care in this instance.
Okay.
I will care more about that next week when it's 2 bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
These are 2 good teams.
Right. Two good teams, two well-coached teams, two well-prepared teams. I get it. You worry about that more for a team like the Indianapolis Colts, and that who's playing next week.
Yes,
in the
Colts and the
Frankfurt
Patriots.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it as much with New England. I mean, they suck. They've got their own problems.
Yes.
But as far as leadership, I don't really worry about that with them. But less experienced teams, sure, you worry about that. I feel like it does have a little bit of an advantage, though, if you can get there early and acclimate to the climate, acclimate to the time zone better. I do like that for Miami. See, I look at this game and I go, this is the chance. This is the chance that the Miami Dolphins have to show you that they can beat a good team.
Yes. You get Jalen Ramsey back. You're reasonably healthy. I mean, you're Miami Dolphin healthy, which means you're only missing 4 starters as opposed to
7.
The usual 7.
Right.
And I think there are some advantageous matchups in this.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 tackles for the Kansas City Chiefs have not been particularly good. Juwan Taylor has been exactly what we told you it'd be. He's good in pass, bro. He's not good as a run blocker.
Yep.
So that really limits what you can do with Pacheco. Miami's got a series of pretty decent pass rushers. And I think you see a lot of advantages for Miami compared to Kansas City.
No doubt.
Now, with that being said, I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs, and I didn't think even 5 seconds about it.
Really?
Nope. Had they not lost to Denver last week,
Mm-hmm.
I might have gone a different direction. I do not see a path an Andy Reid coach team is losing 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I think they were looking ahead last week. Pat Mahomes had had the snuffies, and things just didn't go their way.
Right.
This is because we've said this all week that this is Miami's chance for them to prove that they can beat a good team. This is a really good opportunity for Kansas City to go, hey, we're still the big bad wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've got Tyreek Hill, you've got Jalen Waddle, you've got all the weapons, you've got plenty of advantages. We have Pat.
Mm-hmm.
We have Pat. We have a defense that's way better than most people make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've read this book.
Your defense is way better, but I don't know if it's that much better. I don't know if you can put the lid on Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Can they get to Tua Tagovailoa, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. I think they will do it early. I think they will do it often.
You think so?
What's the biggest problem with Miami's offensive line? The interior is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome.
Chris Jones.
This week you get to block Chris Jones. I'm sure that will be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, no, it probably won't be. It probably won't be a lot of fun. I just don't know if they can. I don't know if they'll generate enough pressure when it matters.
For me, I look at this and go, Chris Jones will get home any and every opportunity he wants to. And I'm not sure that knocking the 2 losses that I've seen from Miami, it was really consistent that they got home a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got home a lot and Miami didn't get on track, that offense did not look like that offense anymore. And I get that they have some advantages. The Jalen Ramsey thing on Travis Kelce, okay. He is a good corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he's that good. Go back and watch that tape with the Rams at the end of last year. It didn't look like the number 1 corner in the NFL to me.
Mm-hmm. No, he hasn't looked. Somebody said in the chat earlier he hadn't looked the same since COVID, and I kind of agree with that.
Well, I don't necessarily know that he was used properly towards the end with the Rams, and I'm not sure that he's going to be used properly here. I'm not sure that putting him on Travis Kelce and saying, "Hey, this is your role," and I don't think they're going to do it the entire game. I would lean more to Javon Holland and some rotation of guys and just throw different looks at them. It's off-putting to me that Jalen Ramsey came out and said that. I mean, I think any idiot could figure it out, but that just feels to me like something you should have kept your mouth shut about.
Why? Competitive advantage? Is that where you're going with this?
You're going to come out and say all this stuff about Travis Kelce, and you're going to give that to Andy Reid, the mad scientist himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
gonna put my best defender on your guy, and I'm gonna.
I don't know that it matters.
I don't know that it does either.
I don't know that it matters.
I don't think there's anybody that can mitigate him. You can hold him back, you can limit him, but he's going to get the 66 catches, 60 yards like he got against the Jets. He can get number one coverage from everybody in the league.
I'll go double that.
Very well may.
I think he has a big old big one against Miami.
He very well may. He's going to have to, though, because he is the piece, right? I mean.
He's the one.
Yeah. And so it only makes sense that I would put my best defender on him and then dare you to try to do anything else. The problem is it's Patrick Mahomes that you're daring, and Patrick Mahomes is going to find a way to make Rashee Rice end up in the end zone, or Marquez Valdez-Scantling is going to get 2, or it's always something nagging with this team that there's somebody else that can perform because you have a quarterback that's so damn good. And I think it's going to be a great game. And
all right, so
I would go over the number on this one, and I will go with the Miami Dolphins plus the 1.5.
That feels like a board bet.
Ooh.
That feels like a board bet. I'll take the under.
Oh, you're going to take the under?
We don't do unders here.
Okay.
I'll take the under in this game.
Okay.
There is a shootout game this week that I like a lot. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking Kansas City or Miami?
I am taking Miami.
Okay.
Plus the 1.5.
The house took Kansas City, and so am I.
It's fine. Atlanta and the Minnesota Vikings. Yay. I mean,
wager don't watch.
Right, like I've got the Minnesota Vikings coming off of a game where they're going to be playing who at quarterback?
Jaron Hall.
All right, let's go. Jaron Hall. I didn't really think about this long. To me, I feel better about Atlanta now that Taylor Heineken is the quarterback.
I do too, but does the line not bother you to some extent?
3.5. Why does that bother you?
Because that feels really, really low.
Oh, you think it should be more?
Oh, no doubt. I thought this was going to be 7.
Wow.
Which gives me pause for concern of, okay, what am I missing here?
I was honestly surprised there was a hook on it. Atlanta's not a team that you really believe in, or anybody should, and Minnesota's not either.
You're playing a 5th-round rookie that a lot of people didn't even have a draftable grade on. It's a bizarre line to me.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre line to me.
Maybe Jaron Hall is something. You don't know.
Maybe
they've been hiding him in practice.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this. He's not something. He's absolutely nothing. And then when I saw that the lion's share of the money was on Minnesota, that made my head hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Atlanta. In spite of all the signs that tell me I should be taking Minnesota, I'm taking Atlanta.
Yep. I'm on Atlanta.
I think this is the week they get Bijan Robinson right. I'm going to keep saying that because if I say it for long enough, eventually it has to be true.
Yes. Which way did the house go? Atlanta or
they took Atlanta.
Minnesota?
Looks to be a clean sweep. We're all on Atlanta.
Very good. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. Let's ride. Oh,
I feel like you're going to poo-poo this game because it's your team. I think this is one of the most interesting games of the weekend.
It is. It's the one that I stared at longer than most of any of the other games. I mean, obviously the consequential games I stared at a little bit more, but I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm taking my team. I'm taking Tampa Bay plus the 3 because, honestly, I feel like this is a game that they win. I feel like because they've done that thing, right? We've had the 3-game losing streak. You've given me hope that we're going to be terrible. So this is that scenario, Jeremy, where Todd Bowles does that thing, the opposite of what you want him to do. I want him to keep on losing. He's going to come out and he'll find a way.
That is flawless logic.
We will find a way to field goal this game in there.
That is flawless logic because you are absolutely right. When you want to lose, Todd Bowles will win. When you want to win, he will lose. Now, that usually would be enough for me to say Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
There's just one problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's no team in the NFL that I think Vegas is more wrong on than the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Where do you think Vegas has them in the power rankings poll for this week?
16.
Houston.
Yeah.
27.
Really?
They've been real slow to come around on Houston.
Interesting.
And I think it's got this number off.
Okay.
Because they're still too high on Tampa Bay. I've said that all year long.
Mm-hmm.
I have made a pretty decent habit of just either picking against Tampa Bay or picking alternate lines against Tampa Bay, because they're 4-3 against the spread. But if you throw them in any form of teaser that's more than 3, they're 2-5 against the spread. I don't like Tampa Bay to win this game. I don't. This feels like a game you're supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's coming off the loss to Carolina. That just made a lot of people really question them. I think they're better than you. C.J. Stroud is better than Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
D'Amico Ryans is better than Todd Bowles. Yep. And what is the question that I always ask? Who has the better quarterback, who has the better coach, and who's at home? Houston has all 3 of those.
Yes, sir. They do.
Houston has all 3 of those, and I'm only laying a field goal?
Mm-hmm.
This was another one of those numbers that I looked at and went, this feels stupid. This feels stupid because
I see no path that this game is anything more than a field goal. Either way.
I
really
see a
don't.
path if they come out and absolutely beat your brains out.
How?
Because they're the definition of the team that really messes with Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even act like they're going to run it the vast majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just C.J. Stroud throws a barrage at you.
Mm-hmm.
The receiving core is pretty healthy, and I don't know how you're going to stop them all. By the way, did you see the story that ESPN put out a receiver metric that said Nico Collins was better than Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson?
Really?
Yeah, you probably should have revised that formula before you put that out.
That tells you your formula's wrong.
It's one of those things that people look at. Oh, I believe birds are real. Oh, you're one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that the truth is out there. All right.
Will Anderson's going to be a problem in this game. No doubt about it. Tampa Bay's offensive line is absolutely terrible. You know, I have seen some of the fantasy articles for this week, again, talk about Rachaad White as he should be picked up. He's getting catches out of the backfield.
Whoa.
So, I mean, if you like that whole Leonard Fournette 4 catches for 10 yards kind of thing, you can go that route. There's nothing exciting coming with this offense that you don't expect.
The Baker Mayfield thing the same thing has happened in every offense he's been in. The more time you give me to see it, the easier it is to game plan.
Mm-hmm. But I do think Tampa's defense is good enough to limit C.J. Stroud in the passing offense. They're not going to be able to run the ball against us, and you'll figure out a way. Field goal win this game. So I'm taking Tampa plus the 3. Jeremy, you're on Houston minus the 3.
And the house is with me
on the Houston Tejans. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
At Ingles, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. Thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thank you for your kindness in the aisles and your smiles at the register. Thank you for supporting our efforts to help our neighbors in need. Thank you for trusting us to feed your family with food from farms close to home. Thanks for everything, and happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Ingles, your neighbor for over 60 years.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hello there. Hi, Paul McCartney here. Ringo here, asking you to listen to Now and Then, the new Beatles single.
To hear the Beatles anytime, just search the Beatles on the free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, it is a
Football Friday.
That's right, and we're giving you each and every pick in the NFL against the spread, and our next game, the Arizona Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns.
And we have breaking news.
I love breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is an answer to a question that we asked earlier. Deshaun Watson will start.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
from Adam Schefter.
I guess that's about as much excitement that I can put into it because, he hasn't been good since he got back with the Cleveland Browns, right? So, going back to last year when he joined the team. We haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen that Deshaun Watson game that we've been expecting. Could it be today? Or, could it be this week?
I feel like this is that pie in the Looney Tunes just going, do it. Take Arizona, do it.
Really? You're not gonna, though. Are you? I feel like it's a bold strategy.
What do you have this number at?
What do you mean, the spread?
Yes.
It's 8.5.
Okay, it was 7.
Well, we wrote it down earlier.
It was 7 earlier.
Yeah, it here on the little game recap I'm looking at, or capsule I'm looking at.
Well, it's at 9 right now.
Holy cow. Well, I guess that makes sense. A 2-point jump now that you know without a doubt that Deshaun Watson is playing.
All right, so we got to have a consensus here because the house picked it at 7.
Well, if the house was all over it at 7, would the house still do it at 9? Put it up again.
Because at 9, I think I'm taking Arizona.
Really? Either way, I will take Cleveland. I don't care what the number is here.
All right, they did it at 7. We'll do it at 7. I'm taking Cleveland. I think it is 7.
All right, we will leave.
I don't think Clayton Tune is a huge downgrade from Josh Dobbs, and I don't think Deshaun Watson's a huge upgrade over P.J. Washington or over P.J. Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, one's a mediocre NFL quarterback. One's a mediocre NBA power forward. I obviously believe in the Cleveland defense. It's that offense that's just, it's so stuck in neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem like every game is competitive, whether it should be or not.
So you're taking Cleveland?
I'm begrudgingly, yes.
Begrudgingly taking Cleveland. I'll take Cleveland as well, minus the 7 against Arizona. Look, I I know that it hasn't looked good yet, but I'm still holding out hope that at some point it is going to look good.
90% of the money's on the under 38. That's why the points matter so much to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not sure either one of these offenses is going to score a lot. I could easily see this game being 20-13 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at 7, which is what we put it up at,
I'll
go Cleveland.
All right, Cleveland minus the 7 against Arizona. The L.A. Rams are in Green Bay to take on the Packers, and they're a 3-point dog. What do you think about that, Jeremy?
I think that is the dumbest line I've seen all year.
Okay, I'm glad you're not the only one because I don't know what it is. I mean, is this Vegas just not wanting to understand how bad Green Bay is? Because Green Bay always gets this, right? They always get the nod for the home field advantage at Lambeau. But this team shouldn't.
No.
This team doesn't qualify for that.
This offense is absolutely horrific.
I can see them getting smoked by 20.
There is a low chance of rain, and it's going to be kind of cold. Looks like game time kickoff temp's going to be about 50 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't get how Green Bay in this week's Vegas Power Rankings is 22. I don't. What are you seeing that I'm not? I have literally been going back and forth with Packer fans about drops from their receivers for what feels like it feels like it's been 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you had that problem one time, one game. You had 6 drops in one game. Had 5 collectively in the 6 games preceding to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your problem. Your problem is your quarterback is terrible, and every team that you go up against knows it.
Mm-hmm.
They've also figured out that there's subtle little nuance things you can do with defenses. He can't read it. He doesn't see it coming. It leads to an interception damn near every week, and it's almost always inside his own 40-yard line. You're gifting every team you play 3 points off the jump because I know he's going to do it. I've seen him do it too many times.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Stafford to Jordan Love is a 5-point swing for the Rams. That's more than Vegas has it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Jordan Love is a net 0 to me. They have him as a 1, which is the same thing they have C.J. Stroud at, that sounds insane to me. And you see Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud as the same quarterback. Okay, then.
I mean, is this because Matt Stafford's injured and we don't know if he's going to play?
That's the only reason I can imagine the numbers is at this point. I don't care. I don't care if he plays or not.
So if it's Brett Rippon, you're just all in on L.A. still winning this game, or L.A. plus the 3.
Money line.
Okay.
You can tell me Mark Rippon was starting for the Los Angeles Rams. I don't care.
Okay.
Aaron Donald will terrorize you. And all I've got to do is get it into the hands of Puka Nacua and in the hands of Cooper Kupp, and coming off that god-awful loss to the Cowboys, I think Matthew Stafford's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal belief. But even if he doesn't, it changes nothing.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's going to play.
Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp against a depleted secondary. Still doesn't have Eric Stokes. And you just sent Rasul Douglas packing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Jair Alexander, I guess, he's good.
All right, he's going to deal with Puka Nacua.
He's going to deal with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one runs free.
Cooper Kupp week.
Yep.
It also tells me a lot that the Rams have not made a move to sign another quarterback. Because they're going into this game with Matthew Stafford questionable. Stetson Bennett's not even with the team. They apparently inquired about John Walford, and then Tampa Bay put him on the active roster.
Squad. Yeah. They were going to claim him off our practice squad, and we took him off to protect him.
It's a weird decision, but because I would have done the same thing with John Walford that I did with Mecole Hardman.
At some point, the experiment with Baker Mayfield could come off the rails, and you're going to have to rely on something, and you don't want Kyle Trask to be your only option. So I kind of understood why we did it. All right, so we're both on the Rams here.
Yes.
Plus the 3.
Don't care if Matthew Stafford plays or not.
All right. The house went with the Rams as well. Plus the 3.
That is correct.
Washington Commanders at the New England Patriots.
This is another number that stinks to me. I feel like, okay, I know the narrative of Bill against rookie quarterbacks.
Yep.
Bill at home.
Yep.
None of that tracks now.
Doesn't it, though? Does it not? I mean, they caught the Buffalo Bills, so they could catch the Washington Commanders led by Ron Rivera and a rookie quarterback.
And what you just said is the only thing that makes this make any sense.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the only narrative you have to explain why New England is a 2.5-point favorite against a team that is better than they are.
To me, they're considerably better.
I would agree. But it does concern me that you took a lot of the bullets out of your gun on defense. I know for the future you did what you did and you got draft picks out of it. Congratulations. But when it comes to just this game, it makes me worry about what we're going to see.
You still have Daron Payne?
Yep.
Still have Jonathan Allen?
Yep.
I think he'll be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about this for even a second. Commanders.
Yep.
Those receivers are going to be a headache for New England. And I just keep coming back to the offense going, that has been how Washington has been beaten over the weeks, is you get a team that can score easily on your defense. And that's even what you said, is no Chase Young, there's no Montez Sweat because they're both gone. I don't get it.
Don't care.
No Smiles, who's a Patriots fan, and thinks this is easy for New England. I don't. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is an easy game on the schedule for New England, and I really like Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a different version of that offense last week than I'd seen in the past.
I do not think that this is easy for New England by any stretch, and I'm just not doing it. I'm not buying into the narrative. I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to be on the Patriots side anymore.
I
can't. If it burns me, it burns me. But you know what? I'm doing that thing where I feel like I'm doing the smart thing. I'm taking Washington plus the 3, as is the House of Reprehensibles, and we'll let the Patriots fans be the only ones on the Patriots to cover a 3-point spread at home, because I do have it. We do have it at 3. No, I think I said 2.5 earlier.
It is 3.
It is 3. New England.
No Smile said, I didn't say easy, but they should win. I want the Patriots to lose out. You should want them to lose out.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville. Got one more game here, and then we'll take a quick break. Chicago Bears, New Orleans Saints. 1 o'clock game down in New Orleans. New Orleans is an 8-point favorite over the Chicago Bears.
That feels like a lot of
It does. It does. And it's hard to trust the New Orleans Saints, but it's the Chicago Bears. The Bears are so bad, I didn't even think about this really at all, because I think New Orleans will roll in this game, and it may be gross, it may be ugly, it may be 20-6.
Considerable amount of money on under the 41.
But I don't see any way for the Bears.
Oh, it's funny you said that, because I didn't think about this either. Bears plus 8.5.
Really?
Yep. That's too many points.
Okay.
I don't think there is a huge difference in terms of the quarterback I feel like I'm going to get between Tyson Bagent and Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds weird to say, but he's just been so up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was against a horrific secondary. If there was no Jalen Johnson, I might feel that way. But I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think New Orleans is going to win. Don't get me wrong. But I reserve 8.5 for a good team against a bad team. This is a inconsistent, talented team against a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Bears.
Okay. I feel like that offense has been moving better for the New Orleans Saints the last few weeks, especially, since Alvin Kamara came back, and Taysom Hill will score more fantasy points in this game than the New Orleans Saints do. He's on a streak of like 20-plus weeks, like 3 in a row now. He has been a big part of this offense, and I think that's what will keep New Orleans ahead, and they'll cover this spread.
I think it's going to be low-scoring, gross fest, and it'll be the game that we talk about Monday and go, if you watch more than 5 seconds of that, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm on New Orleans minus the 8. The Flostradamus is on Chicago plus the 8. And do we have a house call on this one yet?
Saints.
All right. You're in the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We'll be back. Continue the previews and the picks for Week 9 in the NFL next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure locked in. Temperatures gradually warming up. Now today, sunshine. We're in the low 60s. Mid-60s is average. Tonight, mostly clear. Low near 30. That's cold. We should be in the upper 30s. Here's where we change things up. Sunshine Saturday up to 68. Upper 30s Saturday night for the low. Sunday brings sunshine, and we are headed to the upper 60s, and we get warmer from there. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG, hot and crisp nacho fries are back, and there's even more fries to love now at Taco Bell. But it's now or never. Yeah, these fries covered in bold Mexican spices with nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last.
What I was told was bone on bone. I was going to have knee replacement, and I do not like surgery.
Desperate to avoid surgery, Julie decided to check out QC Kinetics non-surgical regenerative treatments.
My daughter actually works in a Chapel Hill, North Carolina lab, and I sent her all of the information that I was given, and she's like, oh, Mom, this is for you. I've heard great things about this. She's like, you need to try it before ever doing surgery.
Julie started the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments right in the office, using her own healing properties to help restore her damaged tissue.
I know, my daughter was right. Yeah, it's nice when you've got that person you can go to who might have a little bit more information, especially on the science of it. QC Kinetics, it's life-changing.
Find out if you're a good candidate. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Get in the spirit with 50% off everything for a limited time during the holiday preview event, now through November 13th at Banana Republic Factory. From merino wool sweaters to luxe outerwear, explore our favorite styles to give and to get.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville inside the Ingles Studio. Time to get weird. And you know what? We usually skip our crimes as well, so I'm putting this all in together. The weird crimes segment here. Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania. A Phillipsburg man, 37 years old, is facing felony charges of burglary and criminal trespassing after he had, well, it was quite the night. the other night, October the 29th. He was arrested shortly before 5:30 a.m. He was having a whale of a time because he consumed a 1/4 ounce of psilocybin mushrooms, which
that feels like a lot.
That is a lot. That's a lot. That's like
feels like a lot.
That's like 7 doses of what you normally would do. So you're like, I want to feel pretty good. I want to do some mushrooms. Yeah,
you seem like quite an authority.
I looked it up because I wanted to know like just how crazy this was. An entire 1/4 ounce of psilocybin mushrooms is a lot. One website said never take more than 5 grams, and 7 grams is a 1/4 ounce. So he took way too much than you ever should. This guy started having hallucinations, and then he started running house to house, just trying to break into houses, and was screaming that he had been shot. He went to the first house, was able to break in. They were finally able to get him to go away after he kept screaming, I'm shot, I'm shot. And they're like, no, you're not. He went to another house. He was not able to break into that house, thankfully. The third house he went into, he was able to gain access to that one. Still screaming, I've been shot, I've been shot. And then that person apparently had a weapon laying on a coffee table. He picked up the weapon and started slinging that around, aiming it at the guy, continuing to say, I need help, I've been shot. Then he pushed his way inside. He tore the house apart. After he grabbed the handgun off the coffee table, the person in the house was able to get the gun away from him, and then he dumped a CD rack through a lamp, broke the handle off of a cast iron skillet, which I don't know how you do that.
That would be hard to do.
I feel like that's hard to do. He damaged stove burners, and then he rubbed frozen meat on his bare chest, which he pulled from the freezer. Now, I wasn't a big fan of that lamp, but those are my steaks, son, and why are you ruining my food? Because now I'm mad. Like, I wasn't too mad about the CD case because who uses CDs anymore?
Who still has a CD case?
I do. Of course I do. I'm an old man.
Of course you do. How many Creed bangers you got in that sleeve?
There's only 2 albums.
Patrick Holt said CD rack. That's the wildest part of the story is that somebody still has one of those in their house.
Yeah. What? I mean, did you just throw them all away? The rest of you?
Yeah.
You just threw them away. Just one day you're just like, CDs, don't need these anymore. Just throw them away.
Yeah. I don't remember doing it.
I can't do that.
I mean, I'm sure mine was in a move somewhere because I had 2 of those standing DVD CD racks.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point I went, well, that's garbage.
I have 8 of them. I have 8 of those DVD CD stands in my house, and I can't bring myself to throw any of that away.
You're a hoarder, aren't you?
I have thousands of dollars wrapped up into a movie collection that I never use, but I don't want to throw it all away.
I'm going to tell you a story. I drive a Lexus. I have driven said Lexus for several years.
Mm-hmm.
If you handed me a CD and said, put that on for me, don't know how to do it. No clue. Don't know where it goes.
You've never put a CD in that car?
Nope.
That's weird.
I have an iPod and a phone that both do that.
Does it connect to your speakers?
Yeah, there's a cord
in that car. Oh, okay. There's a cord. I got you.
Yeah, mine doesn't have Bluetooth. Well, it has Bluetooth. It just I'm too stupid to make it work.
Mine.
If you call me, I can talk to you that way, but I can't make music play for some reason.
Right. Well, I mean, your car being that old, that wasn't standard then. Like my 2017 Rogue, it's standard in that it's got the Bluetooth and the connection, and so I only listen to the iHeartRadio app when I'm in the car.
Company man.
Hey, I pay the fee. I pay my subscription every month, and it allows me access to all of the songs within the iHeartRadio library. I can build my own playlists and listen to what I want on my own time.
Hubert Queen said you still have an iPod. I do.
We need to clip that.
Now
Send
the
that
iPod,
to the bosses, by the way.
That was a good promo. That I cannot part with.
Your
Namely
iPod?
because I have thousands of minutes of loading that thing.
Is this on your shuffle? Isn't that what they were called? The little tiny ones?
No. I mean, I'm sure there was a shuffle. That's not what I have.
Yeah.
I have an iPod that I've had forever.
No, wow. You might have the last working iPod.
Oh, no, my father has like 6 of them. That's the jams.
That I have thrown away. That I've been through 3 iPods, and those I have they get to the point where they don't work anymore. I mean, obviously, I didn't have the good ones.
I was about to say,
right?
Denver Donkey said the Shuffle was the cheap model. Who's shocked that I didn't know what that was?
And I did.
And that was immediately what he went to.
Yeah.
No wonder he's been through 3 of them.
It's the only ones I've ever had is the ones that I bought for like $50 on eBay that came from Japan, and you had to like unlock the language when it came. I had one that I didn't know what to do with it for 2 months because I couldn't figure out how to get to the settings because it was all in Japanese.
English. Just yell at it.
Right. But this was before you could do that, right? It didn't have voice recognition on it. You just had this little brick in your hand that was like, okay, there's a cartoon character and some squiggly lines. Man, I really don't know where I'm going with this. What do I do with it? I had to eventually turn it over to some expert who was way better at this than I am. I had to figure out how to put it to English for me.
Secret time, I use my phone for virtually everything.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I said the iPod is my phone took a sweet little bounce down the sidewalk the other day, and a few of its features are not currently working at the level that I am used to.
Right.
Got to replace that bad boy this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I do encourage everybody to use their iHeartRadio apps. Wherever you go, you can take us with you wherever you go, live or on demand. And also get the new Beatles single. It's banger. Better than anything Creed ever thought about doing.
I'm going to disagree.
Dead. Half of them are dead, and they're still making better music than Creed.
I'm going to disagree with that. But I will say it has to be better than that new Rolling Stone song.
No doubt.
I would rather plunge my ear holes than ever hear again. My story confirms a line that I've said many times. Nobody wants to fight the naked guy.
Nope.
Las Vegas police officer found this out the hard way. It's 11 p.m. Tuesday night. Naked man later identified as 29-year-old Clyde Cabulsion. He, shockingly, was thought to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Kyle Even was another driver that came up on the action, thought it was an accident, and what he spotted, he detailed to Fox 8. You got a cop and a naked dude. I thought he was going to be handcuffed and thrown to the ground. The cop kind of seemed like he was protecting him from somebody coming through and hitting him, which is exactly what he was doing. And would you like to know how he repaid the officer? He stole his car.
No.
He stole his police cruiser, drove it 5 miles down the road, and then wrecked it.
Nice.
That's why you don't mess with the naked guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just put him in cuffs, put him in the car. All right? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's out of his mind. That's why he's going full Dio and not the Ronnie James kind. Okay? That's not good. It's not what you want to do.
No, it's really not. Let's continue with the picks for week 9 in the NFL. Our next contest up here. The Seattle Seahawks.
In the chat, they're really enjoying talking, reliving the golden days of the iPod. Look, okay, the 90s were the best time of my life. There are a few little elements of that of the younger days that I don't want to lose. And the iPod's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I married grown-up Tiffany Amber Thiessen. T-A-T. Let's go.
Everything better.
T-A-T. What up?
Yeah, 1 o'clock. On Sunday, Seattle Seahawks at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are a 6-point favorite.
Toughest game of the week, not close.
Yes.
Toughest game of the week, absolutely not close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This game was real tight for me. It could go either way, honestly. I looked at the whole West Coast coming East Coast for a 1 o'clock start thing, but again, that's a Seattle's impervious to that, apparently, or the stats say that they have been.
They're the best team in the NFC against playing AFC teams.
Mm-hmm. The Baltimore Ravens look like a team that is ready to make that jump, to me, anyway. Lamar is playing fantastic.
And it's funny you said that because the best AFC quarterback against the NFC, is Lamar Jackson.
Is he really? Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
I am still not 100% sure what's getting ready to come out of my mouth, but I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you pick it first.
Well,
because there was one thing that swayed me here.
Mm-hmm. There's one thing that sways me about this, and it's the fact that I do not have great luck when it comes to believing in a certain team.
So are you going full opposite day? George Costanza? Whatever you want to do the opposite?
Every time I want to believe, and every time I get on the bandwagon, there's one team that constantly seems to just slap me in the face every time and go, ha, you're a believer, watch this. And they're going to lay a grumper. And to me, I feel like no team does that to me more than the Baltimore Ravens. So I will be going with the underdog in this scenario, the Seattle Seahawks, plus the 6 on the road against Baltimore. You're welcome, Stephen Tao, and I apologize to the Seattle Seahawks fans because I have just jinxed you, and now you will lose this game.
I have long said when public narrative goes one way and a line doesn't make any sense, I'm going to go the other way. Because to me, this line makes no sense.
Should be lower.
It should be lower because what this means is that if Baltimore went to Seattle, they would be a 3-point favorite. And I don't agree with that. However, I also don't really believe in Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I have the same feeling here that I had when Baltimore played Detroit. AFC teams against NFC teams. And if they're equally yoked, I will always take the AFC team. I am going the Baltimore Ravens.
Good for you.
I like Seattle. I think Seattle's a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
This has horrible trap spot written all over it.
Yes.
All over it.
It does. I don't know who for, though, because I feel like both of these teams are riding a wave and riding a lot of hopes. Who's it a trap for? Is it going to be a trap for the Seattle Seahawks? Will they get burned by Baltimore? Or will Baltimore be a little vulnerable on the ground? And will Seattle be able to come away with a win?
We got one more game to do here that's it's a local team. It's the home team.
Yes. The Indianapolis Colts come into Bank of America Stadium to take on the Carolina Panthers.
I didn't think about this game for even a tenth of a second.
Yeah, nor did I.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It's Indianapolis minus the 2.5. I don't see it with Carolina. I felt like they got lucky last week against Houston. All right, you got it.
How did you take that as luck?
Okay. What do you think they outplayed them?
Yes, I do.
Significantly?
Yes, I do.
I don't. I looked.
Frankly, I think Houston got lucky that Carolina was not very efficient with the ball, or it would have been worse than it was.
Yeah, but that's kind of who they are. They're a team that I can't believe in efficiency wise yet.
So last week I told you Carolina was going to get their first win.
Yes, you did.
Against the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they're getting their second one this week because I didn't think about this for a second. Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm. What are they going to be able to do?
Well, you're the narrative guy, so I'm not putting much into the Frank Reich revenge game.
Yeah.
I'm also not putting much into Gardner Minshew is not particularly good at football. He is a stat accumulator, and if you watch the games, he has not been all that great.
Mm-hmm.
For every good throw, there's 2 really bad ones. And I don't believe in the secondary. I'm not overly worried about the front against the front. I love the under in this game. This has last week written all over it, 15-12.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take Carolina.
Okay. All right. Indianapolis, I think they're going to flex the muscle in the run game. And that's going to be the difference in this one. So I'm on Indianapolis minus the 2.5. Jeremy's taking the Carolina Panthers to get their second win of the season with Carolina plus 2.5, taking them in the money line. Speaking of that,
bangers.
Coming up next, you're on ESPN Asheville.
The Ingles Advantage isn't just about savings or the best quality food for your family. It's more than that. It's the advantage of being a part of a community. That's why we provide over 2 million pounds of food every year through regular donations and programs like the Ingles Giving Tree. food for thought. And the Ingles Fill a Backpack program. It's the right thing to do. And we know that you would do the same. Ingles, your neighbor for over 50 years.
With Black Friday savings all month long at the Home Depot, you get all the jingle bells and whistles you could wish for with LG appliances. With America's most reliable line of appliances per independent consumer study, you can take holiday doing to holiday done and always be ready to handle last-minute holiday guests. Save up to $900 on select laundry sets with Black Friday savings, including top brands like LG at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently, there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
We all know I love an underdog, but these aren't just underdogs, they're road dogs. We start with Georgia Tech. They are a 2.5-point dog at Virginia. Let me say that again because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Georgia Tech, who can score and throw the ball with old dark helmet Haynes King himself, on the road against Virginia, where they've not been particularly good, and they're a 2.5-point dog. I don't know that this game's ever close. Virginia is horror-awful, which is what made the loss to North Carolina even more confounding. But I feel like that's making Vegas overvalue Virginia, and it makes Georgia Tech one of my favorite plays of the week. Give me Georgia Tech plus the 2.5. I'll take on the money line to win outright. Boston College, 3-point dog at Syracuse. Am I the only one that realizes Boston College is pretty good? Jeff Hafley, yep, that's you're doing quite a job there with Thomas Castellanos since he has taken over this offense. They've been really, really difficult to beat, and Syracuse is kind of like drinking tequila. It starts off really good, and by the end of it, you're sick of doing it. Syracuse is not good. They haven't been good. Boston College, plus the 3, they went out right. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. They gave me my happiest moment so far of the college football season when they took the trash of Oklahoma out and sent them to the pit of misery. They will do so again this week against a grossly overrated Iowa State team. I get that they're coached well. And I'm not going to lie, Matt Campbell is getting more out of this team than the talent dictates. If this was in Lawrence, I would have Kansas as a 10-point favorite. They're a 2.5-point dog on the road. And even in college, that's way too wild of a swing. Give me the Jayhawks plus 2.5. And finally, the Missouri Tigers travel to Georgia. 15.5 is just disrespectful. I'm going to keep doing this because this is the best team Georgia's played. Luther Borden III is without a doubt the best player they have played all year, and I think this is his coming out party. I believe he will be a top 15 pick in next year's draft, and this is where you're going to know his name. Georgia wins, but 15.5 is disrespectful. What do you think this is? Florida? Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit match on your initial investment and up to 30 risk-free wagers so you can wager football with us all season long.
That make you feel good?
It did.
It made you
I
feel
love
good to
taking
take that
shots
shot?
at Florida. Florida fans, ask the person in the car with you. They'll explain it to you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, top of the hour, it'll be time for the daily draft, where we're going to go this weekend. Plus, we'll continue with all the picks against the spread in the NFL.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure locked in. Temperatures gradually warming up. Now today, sunshine. We're in the low 60s. Mid-60s is average. Tonight, mostly clear. Low near 30. That's cold. We should be in the upper 30s. Here's where we change things up. Sunshine Saturday up to 68. Upper 30s Saturday night for the low. Sunday brings sunshine, and we are headed to the upper 60s, and we get warmer from there. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
Nothing says welcome home like insanely clean carpets from Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. For a limited time, get 3 rooms clean for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Are you ready to take your financial well-being to the peak of excellence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Summit Personal Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed to elevate your financial goals to unprecedented heights. Prepare for a financial experience that combines exceptional benefits, competitive returns, and unparalleled convenience, all in one powerful account. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more about this limited-time offer from your local credit union. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Cut. Let's try something fresh, like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate. The best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles Studio.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Yeah, see, my head is a little more even with your head now. It was just bothering me. My chair was sitting too low. I had to boost it up a little bit.
Yeah, put your booster seat in, and you can be a grown-up boy like the rest of us.
Right. Like having to look over the monitors at you. It is a
Football Friday
here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You don't know why I'm describing where I'm sitting, because you can watch us on the YouTube. Just go to the sportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat while you watch us and all of our idiocy unfold here in the Ingles studio each and every afternoon. And, of course, we are heard locally on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Top of the third hour of the program on a Friday. It's always about where you're going to be this weekend. Money's not an option. Where are you putting your dollars? Where are you going? You got first pick, Jeremy, because you killed me in yesterday's draft.
Yes, I did. It was not nice.
No, it wasn't.
That should have had a TV mature rating.
Mm-hmm.
It was not suitable for children.
I was thinking about filing some allegations against you.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I am headed to T-Town, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
That's number one?
LSU, Alabama.
Okay.
And here's why I say that. There are only two paths to how this game goes.
Mm-hmm.
Either I'm going to see Alabama win a game that firmly puts them back into the playoff discussion. You'd need some help, but it puts you back in the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to see Jaden Daniels' Heisman moment. Every single year that we do this with the Heisman, and it seems like we have 5 guys that stay neck and neck with each other. One of them does something special in a game they're not supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you that's what I think happens. I will be picking this game later on in the hour. But I think this is one of those games where the talent on this field is so good and this rivalry is so heated that you're going to see what both of them are. And especially with all the things. I don't think anything's going to happen with Michigan. What if it does?
Mm-hmm.
What if it does? What if somehow the Big Ten comes along and says, you're not allowed to go to a bowl this year? That's a wide open spot that's going to go to somebody. And it could easily be one of the 2 teams in this game.
It could be. Very well could be. That's a great pick by you. It wouldn't have been my first, obviously.
Well, you obviously get your first pick, so let's hear what it is.
Well,
because I have a feeling I know what it is, and I'll tell you why.
You should know what it is. It's going to be the closest game of any contender this week. It's Georgia and Missouri.
That would not have been my one.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Are you thinking? You're all in it for the points? Is that where you thought I was going with this one?
No, I looked at that one. It was in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that that's going to be the most aesthetically pleasing game of the weekend. I like elements of Missouri. I like elements of Georgia. I see that being more gross fest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a possibility that's backdoor cover for Missouri.
Yeah.
I feel really good they're going to keep it within 15.5. It could be they're down 34 to – math is fun. 34 to 14, and they score a late touchdown to backdoor cover.
Mm-hmm.
That's not particularly attractive to me. And if that's the case, then I feel like Georgia will kind of validate the fact that they were 2 in the most recent college football playoff poll.
I think this will be a tight game.
You've always struggled with Missouri for some reason.
Yes, and now they're much better than they have been. I think it'll be a tight game. I think a lot more points will be scored in this one than people are expecting. The over 55.5, I would probably put some money on that if I were a wagering man, but I'm not.
Really? That's the side of this you would be?
Yeah, I'd be on the over because I think this is going to be somewhere in that neighborhood of a 30-ish point game for both. Top side's going to have 35, and it'll be within a score.
I was more impressed that was how you saw that. What percentage of the money do you think's on the under?
65.
It's not even quantifiable. It's less than 1%.
On the under?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody thinks it's going over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 2, Georgia. Number 12, Missouri. That'd be my number 1 destination this weekend. There's some others in the college ranks, but I got to go to the NFL for the next one. It's real close as to what the game of the week is, for me anyway, in the NFL. And I think because of what is on the line, Sunday Night Football between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals has to be the most consequential game of the week to me. And I think it's just one side. It's just for the Buffalo Bills. Because I feel like if Buffalo comes out and they lay an egg in this game and don't look good, don't look, this is not a late score kind of a decision game, I will feel markedly less about the Buffalo Bills and their chances. You got to win every game. Not every game, but you get what I'm saying, don't you?
I know what you're hinting at. I just don't really agree with you.
Okay.
Them losing to Cincinnati doesn't change anything for me,
mm-hmm.
but you also now know how I feel about Cincinnati. I also know that Buffalo ran their mouths about if it wasn't snowing, we would have beaten you, and that was an error in judgment because Cincinnati has used that as a rallying cry all week long.
Mm-hmm.
I get why you took it, and it was also in my top 5. I'm surprised that's the first NFL game you took.
Okay.
Is there a path where that game is awful? To you.
No.
There is to me.
Really?
There is to me, and that's why it would not have been my first NFL game.
Because it's a weather game? Or
No, the weather's going to be fine.
Okay.
60 degrees and clear from what the last I saw. It might be a little cooler than that. I just see a path that Buffalo is what we've kind of made them out to be, and Cincinnati comes in and beats their brains out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see a path to Buffalo doing that to Cincinnati, but I do see a path for it for Cincinnati.
Okay.
Which is why I had 2 NFL games that for me are higher.
Mm-hmm.
My first one, I'm going to go to Frankfurt, Germany, for the Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
And unlike John F. Kennedy Jr., I'm not going to try to speak German because he's called himself a jelly donut, and I'm not going to do that. I don't know that but especially with that being a European game, I don't know that it's going to be super aesthetically pleasing, but its floor, to me, is higher than the ceiling of every other game for the week. Because those are, to me, 2 of the best teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 prolific offenses.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 really good quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are 2 really good pass rushes.
Mm-hmm. Nailed them all. It's a premier matchup, number 1 on the marquee. Absolutely. But if anything, the reason I didn't take that game number 1,
you don't want to go to Germany.
I don't care. No, I would love to go to Germany. I'll take the opportunity. I love German food. Give me a little schnitzel, maybe some spatzel. No, you're not a fan. Don't like German food?
No.
Oh, I love German food.
I do not.
And the reason I didn't take this game is because regardless of how it turns out, I'm not going to feel vastly different about either of these teams.
I will.
I won't.
If Kansas City comes in and handles their business and Miami is non-competitive, as they have been against the 2 good teams they played so far,
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I will completely write Miami off, but it is going to take a lot to get you back into that contender category.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the path of possibilities.
It is.
There is, within the range of possibilities, it is possible that you see Miami just come out here and kind of lay an egg.
I don't think you will, though.
I don't necessarily think that's how it's going to happen.
Right, they keep listening to this. They're hearing everybody say this. You can't beat a good team. You lost to the Bills. You lost to the Eagles. And you did in embarrassing fashion.
Well, you're just going into a buzzsaw against a team that came off one of the worst losses that you'll ever see in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well coached. This is a massive travel game. A lot of this lends to Miami not impressing me. If they do, I think I'll be even more impressed than I would have been had they played this game in Miami or Kansas City.
Yeah. But do you think they get smashed?
30% chance. I will say 0% chance they smash Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that. I feel like that 30% is a little high, but I'm with you.
My next one's also in the NFL. I'm going Baltimore and the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to go a long way to – we've said doing the power rankings every week over the last few weeks that there's a very clear separation. To me, this will tell me if I'm too high on Baltimore. They win this game going away, they're a top 5 team in the league. They belong there, and they will stay there. Seattle goes West Coast team coming east at 1 o'clock, beats Baltimore in their own home stadium. We got to really start talking about Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have the inside track to that division, and with the addition of Leonard Williams, I think that's a big deal. I'm just curious how it's going to look.
Yeah. Okay. My next selection, where to go this weekend, I will stay in the NFL, and it's Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles. This is also a game that I don't feel like I'm going to have a sweeping declaration about either of the teams, regardless of how it goes.
Oh, I will.
I mean, obviously, if Philadelphia comes out and just steamrolls Dallas, I will feel a certain way about it. But I don't really think that that's going to happen. They typically play one-score games against each other.
They do.
I mean,
and if this is a one-score game on either side, it's not going to really change anything about it.
I was going to say, aside from that 51-point performance we got from Dallas last year in this game. But most of the time, these are competitive games. And I feel like they're pretty evenly matched. I believe in Philadelphia a little bit more.
I believe in Philadelphia significantly more.
Mm-hmm. So, to me, that's the next biggest game of the weekend. And then I will go back to the college ranks for the big Pac-12 showdown. Washington at USC. Bright lights in L.A., and
another
there
spot
will be
where you can see a Heisman moment.
175 points scored in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Between the two teams. The over-under last I saw was 76.5.
That's where it's at right now.
And I'm comfortable. I would be comfortable in taking the over on that one because this is a game that's going to be in its 40s. It's going to be close. And this could be, you're right, this could be the Heisman moment for Washington's Michael Penix.
It could be. The reason that I pushed that one down a little bit is that defense is so bad that I struggle to believe that he could do something special and it not really mean a lot to me. He comes out and throws for 400 yards.
Everybody does that.
Everybody does that. But it is in the range of possibilities.
But you go four Bills and 6 touchdowns. Now we got a Heisman moment.
I am going to go to the last incarnation of Bedlam. T-Boone Pickens Stadium. There is a player, Ollie Gordon II, running back for Oklahoma State. Do you know where he currently sits in the Heisman watch?
No.
He's 6.
Really?
He's the one nobody talks about. And he is the reason Oklahoma State is way better than I thought they were. I think I've picked against them 5 times this year. It took me a long time to come around. But they run the ball really well. They are going to run it down Oklahoma's throat because that defense is still bad. Bad. And just seeing this for the last time is that's what kept it on the list. And there's a lot of bad blood here.
Yeah. And they swear they're not doing it again. Or at least that's what I heard.
I will be shocked if
Oklahoma State's out. Like they're ticked.
They're very angry.
And they are completely
This
out.
is one of those where you're going to get the rallying cry and the locker room message from the chancellor and the president of the school because this means more than just a game.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma State feels like they were left out to dry by Oklahoma.
And they were.
No doubt. And then my final game, Monday Night Football. My team, your 2023 New York Jets. And a defense that
I like how you dropped everything else off of that. There's no champion.
No.
There's no division.
No, they're a really good defense, and I'm interested to see what they do against the Chargers. This is a game you should win because defensively they should not be able to do much to stop you.
Yes.
And this has trap game written all over it.
I mean, you should be able to run the ball down their throats.
No doubt.
And your defense should be able to put a capper on the struggling passing offense that has been.
The passing offense is struggling. They haven't run the ball particularly well. This is a really one-dimensional team.
There's no hope of that.
Quincy Williams, AFC Defensive Player of the Year. Or AFC Defensive Player of the Month. Excuse me. He a dog.
I was going to say, just giving him the yearly award right out the gate. Let's go.
He's on the board. It's way down there, but he's on the board.
All right, and it comes down to me for final pick. Oh. Yeah.
Army Air Force. You always love those military games.
Nah. I mean, I guess if I have to, which I do.
You do.
I'll go Texas and Kansas State. That's got to be the next closest for me.
That line's really close. It's in Texas, and they're only a 3.5-point favorite. That tells me Vegas feels the same way about Malik Murphy that I do. I am not overly impressed. That's a game where they could get caught. I wanted to pick that game, and then the line came in too low, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah. All right, that's your where to be this weekend around the football world. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400 back in the Ingles studio next. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from. White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, We work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Market.
OMG, hot and crisp nacho fries are back, and there's even more fries to love now at Taco Bell. But it's now or never. Yeah, these fries covered in bold Mexican spices with nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Cut. Let's try something fresh like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great, but with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's a football Friday. Go ahead and do it.
Football Friday.
You do it better than I do.
I do.
Continuing to pick the games against the spread all across the NFL here. We left off with the Carolina Panthers and the Indianapolis Colts, the House of Reprehensibles. Last two picks, you guys took Baltimore and Seattle, or Baltimore in the game against Seattle. So Baltimore minus the 6 for the House. The House also on my side with the Indianapolis Colts minus the 2.5 at Bank of America Stadium this weekend. Jeremy says Carolina Panthers going to get their second win in a row. Brings us to the Las Vegas Raiders and the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, we have 4 games left, and one of them is awful. The other 3 are pretty good.
But, I mean, there's intrigue to this game for me. The Las Vegas Raiders with the shakeup of the head coach, Antonio Pierce now taking over as the leader of the team, not necessarily the coach of the team, which I thought was one of the just most brilliant Mark Davis quotes I've ever heard. I think you're going to get to see that boost, though. Because
I think you'll see it for a week. This strikes me exactly like Jeff Saturday last year.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in, they catch a winnable game, and Raiders come out, look really good, and then it falls to pieces the rest of the year.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess I'm kind of a believer in Aiden O'Connell. I like the talent in the kid, and maybe this team's got some juice. They can beat bad teams.
It can't be worse than it was with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Exactly.
It physically is not possible.
Exactly. We had this at 2. Las Vegas minus the 2 is where I sit.
Didn't think about it twice. Vegas.
Yep. The house is with us on the Vegas Raiders. The Giants are just doomed.
Man, they're bad.
Yeah, they're not good.
Man, they're bad.
Mm-hmm. Also, we had somebody in the YouTube comments say easiest prop bet of the weekend is Josh Jacobs. Rich Vital said bet the over on Josh Jacobs. You might have already said this, but that's the easiest prop bet of the week.
It's definitely up there. I can't say it's the easiest, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, over on whatever his number is going to be for rushing yards this week.
Now we get to the games that you actually have to give a little bit of analysis of.
Yeah, 425 through Monday Night Football is going to be a lot of fun. Dallas Cowboys on the road at the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia is a 3-point favorite.
The line is exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Did you think about this long? Did you stare at it?
I thought about this for a long time.
Did you really?
I did.
I did not.
I did because anytime I see a number and I go, yep, that's exactly what I had. Well, then I always get to okay, but now which side of this do I have to be on?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a push. This screams push to me. If it was half a point on either side, it would have become the easiest pick of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're right. These games do tend to be close. I feel like what I thought would happen coming into this is that Vegas would overvalue what the Cowboys just did against the Rams. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's a question of do you see an improvement from the Eagles secondary with Kevin Byard? Can anybody deal with CeeDee Lamb because he has just been an absolute monster? And I think they can. I'm taking Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm taking Philadelphia.
I'm taking Philadelphia as well. I didn't really think about this all that long. It's not that I don't think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. It'll be a heavyweight prize fight. But when it comes down to the end of it, who am I taking? Best quarterback. Better coach.
Better quarterback, better coach is Philadelphia.
And who's at home? I get all three of them. I get all three of the Flostradamus trifecta that swings a game in my favor. Philadelphia minus the 3. Like I said, I didn't think about it very long. I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
There's also we heard the narrative last week of Mike McCarthy coming off a bye week, how fantastic he has been coming off a bye. He has not been fantastic the second week coming off a bye.
Has he not?
I don't remember the exact record, but it's sub 500.
Mm-hmm.
These tend to be fall-on-your-face games for McCarthy over the course of his head coaching career.
Right.
I just don't know how you're going to be able to do anything outside of CeeDee Lamb. I want to see one of those other receivers step up. I just don't know that this is the matchup that you're going to get it.
Yeah. I don't feel like you're going to have to do a whole lot else other than CeeDee Lamb to keep up in this game. I mean, you'll get your Brandon Cooks moments. You know, maybe you'll have a few to Jake Ferguson or something. I just think these teams are so evenly matched. It's going to be great.
Well, what you saw last week, I don't know how that translates. You know, they jumped all over the Rams immediately. I mean, it was 17-3 at the end of the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But then you really break down how the rest of that game went. They didn't run the ball particularly well. They CeeDee Lamb'd quite well, and you hit one to Brandon Cooks. That feels really fluky to me. I don't know if you looked at it the same way, but I've gone back and watched that Rams-Cowboys tape. They don't look as discrepant over the last 3 quarters as I thought they would.
Okay. I mean, I guess I can see what you're saying there, but I felt like that game went about as it should. When this team is playing to its capabilities, and as you said, they didn't even run the ball all that well, so I feel like there's still a little bit more juice that you could have coming from this team. But when this team's rolling, that's what a game needs to look like, right? You're going to get the big plays on the defensive side. You're going to get all of the CeeDee Lamb that you can handle. Dak will be good enough to make plays here and there, and I think they will bring it against the Philadelphia Eagles. The problem is you're still not going to be able to run the ball well, and I think that's going to end up being a difference.
That's one of the things that dumbfounds me about the Dallas Cowboys, is that in terms of just raw rushing yards, you're just outside of the top 10. But you average 3.9 yards a carry. I can't wrap my brain around that. Tony Pollard was supposed to be the guy, and everything was supposed to be hunky-dunky. You move past Ezekiel Elliott, and it's just not. And when you watch them on film, their running game is really confusing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's the same play, just lather, rinse, repeat. And you're not getting Pollard to the outside, which I thought would be a staple of that offense. I thought that was why you went to get Brandon Cooks, and it just hasn't bared itself out that way. And every time I look this up, I get angry because they're right over the New York Jets.
And what?
Total rushing yards.
Oh.
On 60 more carries. Every time I see that 157 total carries, I just want to scream at Nathaniel Hackett.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Run the damn ball! You're one of the best running backs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of the teams with the fewest rushing attempts in the NFL. One team is below the Jets.
But that's part of the criticism, though, of Mike McCarthy, right? It's not spicy.
No.
He doesn't have great, diversity in his play calling.
I've always felt like Mike McCarthy was like the grilled cheese sandwich of the NFL. You can put things with it to dress it up, but at the end of the day, it's still just bread and cheese. There is nothing about this that is higher level.
Mm-hmm.
You decorated it for a while with Aaron Rodgers. That was like the tomato soup. Dak Prescott's like the croutons. It's at the end of the day, it's still just a grilled cheese sandwich.
Right.
It's never going to be more than that.
Right.
It can be good. It's not great.
Yeah. Who lands the first blow in the chess match? That's what it all comes down to. Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember last year, it was the Dallas Cowboys, 51-26 when they went to Philadelphia. And then it didn't really work out from there.
No.
Right.
Then you call it the Gardner Minshew game in Dallas.
Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure locked in. Temperatures gradually warming up. Now today, sunshine. We're in the low 60s. Mid-60s is average. Tonight, mostly clear. Low near 30. That's cold. We should be in the upper 30s. Here's where we change things up. Sunshine Saturday up to 68. Upper 30s Saturday night for the low. Sunday brings sunshine, and we are headed to the upper 60s, and we get warmer from there. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG, hot and crisp nacho fries are back, and there's even more fries to love now at Taco Bell. But it's now or never. Yeah, these fries covered in bold Mexican spices with nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last.
So I have been in the operating room most of my career, watching people have orthopedic surgery, watching people get knees replaced, hips replaced, shoulders fixed, and I knew there had to be a better way.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain relief.
I see so many people who could have been helped before they got to the operating room if only they had known about regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, a natural alternative that uses your body's own healing properties to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing long-lasting relief without drugs, surgery, or downtime.
Well, it feels great when I do get to see somebody who we help, who I know I kept out of the operating room. It's amazing how we change people's lives without surgery.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on their and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets. We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes. The story comes to us from KTLA, Channel 5, out in Los Angeles. Parents of students at an elementary school in Norwalk are upset because there's a guy that shows up every day outside of their kids' elementary school, New River Elementary School, and he sits in his SUV and he records the children as they come out.
That sounds like crimes.
It's not, though. So there is no law being broken here because he's filming people on a public sidewalk, on public property. I mean, should it be crimes?
Absolutely.
Yes, it should be crimes for a grown man to show up in his SUV out when school's getting out. He gets out of the driver's seat. He goes around to the passenger side seat. This is the description from parents who are complaining about this. Goes to the passenger side seat, rolls the window down, puts up a mirror of some kind, throws a blanket over his lap, and then proceeds to record the children with his smartphone. There is not a crime being committed, and so the police say there's nothing they can do to make this guy move.
Do we not have a don't be creepy law?
I don't think so. I mean, it's California. They let you do drugs in the middle of the street. So I don't.
Yes.
So look, I mean, I was reading a story the other day about there's a guy that's got a shanty built outside of an elementary school in San Francisco across the street. He's got a giant sign in front of it that said that he trades TikToks for meth. Outside of an elementary school. And the cops still say there's nothing we can do.
How do you trade TikToks?
I don't know. It's social media hits or something crazy like that.
Oh, this is a weird
He's basically
world
just got a sign outside that says, "I'm giving away meth to kids." And the cops say there's nothing that they could do to make him stop.
I feel like there is.
One parent said that she got a 90-day stay-away order, but the county wouldn't approve a permanent restraining order because he's never laid his hands on the parent or never threatened a parent or has ever threatened any of the children, nor has he ever stepped foot outside of the car. He just does the creepy activity, which is 120% a crime.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I want to pass a law. It's called the Don't Be Creepy law. You're doing that, and you ought not do that.
Ugh.
My story is from Maitland, Florida. Couple gets in an Uber on Tuesday night, right about 9:30 p.m. Next thing they know, they're in the middle of an episode of Cops because 2 deputies' cars box in the Chevy Equinox that they were riding in, which was being driven by 27-year-old Elijah Mills. He is an Uber driver that drives this Equinox to do his Ubering. There's only one problem with how he's conducting his business. The car is stolen. He bought it from a rental company, or was renting it from a rental company, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he just decided, you know what? Not make the payments anymore. Well, what happens when you have a rental car and you don't make the payments anymore? They disable it. When do they do that? When you turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
How you get around that? Don't turn it off. He left the car running for 3 weeks.
Wow.
They had been searching for this car. Apparently, the disable button does not work if the car's running. He apparently Googled this, found that out, and was fueling it while it was still running.
Say, how much gas did that take?
It'd have to be a lot. I feel like you probably would have come out better because the Chevy Equinox is a reasonably big car. Just making the payment. Stupid criminals do stupid things. He was arrested and charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle and knowingly driving with a suspended or revoked license.
Wow.
Not only did he Uber in a car that did not belong to him, which I feel like should have been easy for Uber to figure out, he had a revoked driver's license. I want you to think about that the next time you get in an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the weirdest run of Uber luck over the last, I'll go 2 months. Seems like I've had a weird story that's come out of every Ubering adventure I've had. One of the people that drove me home, I am reasonably sure that dude has done crimes of some kind. He would have broken my don't be creepy vibe.
Yeah.
Rule.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan.
Of Uber?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of just getting into the car with strangers.
What's the
Ubers,
alternative?
taxis, any of that.
I've
never been wild about
outside of a few major cities. I've never been in a taxi, but I Uber all the time.
Mm-hmm. Do you prefer a chatty Uber driver, or do you prefer them just to drive you where you're going?
You ever seen the Seinfeld episode where Elaine tells the car service driver that she's deaf? I've done that more than once. That's my answer.
Can you?
I don't do the voice.
You don't do the voice?
No, I don't do the voice you just did.
You
I just
sell it.
Can't hear.
Just can't.
No, if there was a partition in an Uber, I would roll it up the second I got in the car.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing you're going to say to me because I don't know you. At the end of the day, you're a stranger that's driving me where I want to go, usually because I can't do it myself. So if you could just perform the task with which I have tasked you, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
If you won't say a word to me, I'll tip you $5 more, period. Not because I think I'm too good to talk to somebody. It's, I don't know you. There's a great chance that we have nothing in common.
Yeah, what's the purpose of us chit-chatting for the next 20 minutes until you get me to my house? And chances are I'm so drunk right now that I'm going to say something I probably regret.
Oh, that's Jeremy goes silent. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care if you give me the winning lottery numbers. You know what the response is going to be? That.
He's not going to say a word.
No, sir.
All right, let's talk about the primetime games.
Hold on. Before we do that, we have breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is one of the weird.
Oh, I forgot. Wait.
Oh, yeah, you got to turn the music down. I can't scream over it. One job. This is one of the weirder stories I've seen all year.
Sorry, I just.
I'm so glad it's Friday.
Pushing them buttons.
301, and I am telling you right now, that little Lexus is going to be squalling tires out of here. The Colorado Buffaloes have demoted Sean Lewis and promoted Pat Shurmur to the play caller. But they still are going to have Sean Lewis on the sideline as the signal guy. Now, if you don't understand why this is a weird story to me, Sean Lewis was a head coach. He was at Kent State. And a guy that they were talking about getting bigger jobs down the line. And now he's been demoted for Pat Shurmur. I believe that would have been one of those where I would go, I'll just go ahead and clean up my office. I will no longer be showing up for work.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Is it better to clean out the locker rather than to just remain with the team?
The disrespect in this is dumbfounding. I was a head coach. I was an up-and-coming head coach. and you think I'm the problem? Maybe it's the fact that your offensive line would struggle in most high schools. Maybe it's the fact that your son doesn't understand that spinning around to the offensive line is a bad idea. This is about the fourth thing I've seen in the last 6 weeks where I go, this Deion thing is not going to work the way you think it will.
Yeah.
It's just not. Because if I'm a high-level coach, I'm going to look at this and go, are you out of your mind? Does he have anything to do with that god-awful defense of yours? No. And you're doing this to promote Pat Shurmur, who's an analyst?
Mm-hmm.
You have to make him a full-time coach just to do this? I'm good. I'll pass. You and your cowboy hat, do what you want to do, but I'm good.
But I'll pass. Okay. Deion's going to do what Deion wants to do, right?
And that's my problem. That's where my problem would come in if I'm Sean Lewis. Nope. I feel like you sold me a bill of goods, and now you're using me as the sacrificial lamb in this.
Yep.
When in all reality, I was probably the best thing going for this team. I'm now looking at that Colorado pick going, I have never been more confident of the Beavs than I am this week.
Let's go Beavs. All right, final games against the spread in the NFL. We've got the 2 primetime games, Sunday Night Football. It's the Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals. It's a 2-point spread. Cincinnati is the 2-point favorite in this
spread
game.
Feels right.
It does. It feels right, and it just feels right to take Cincinnati. Cincinnati's on a roll, and I don't know when that stops. I don't know if it stops Sunday night. You're at home. Buffalo hasn't necessarily been the team that we wanted them to be over the last, 5 weeks? Right? It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since that Dolphins game. Even last week, you didn't look great in an opportunity that I thought you had to look great against a not-so-good Tampa Bay team.
I'm going to ask you a question because I've heard this explained both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this game more important for?
I would say it's more important for the Cincinnati Bengals.
I would tend to agree with you, but I've heard a lot of people saying this is more important to Buffalo.
Well, I mean, it's because Buffalo loses and you drop to 5-4, and it's just it's the snowball effect, right? We've had things snowball, and it feels like it gets bigger and bigger every week. Now, we mitigated that to some point last week with a win on Thursday Night Football. That was fine. It made us, we were no doubt the better team, and nobody questioned it. So at least that was progress from the week before. You got a little hope built on that. But you lose to Cincinnati, and then I think it just continues of, well, this is a big spot for you to step up and Josh to do that thing he needs to do and win big games, and he didn't do it. And so now the public narrative goes against you, I think.
Remaining strength of schedule. Cincinnati's 2,
mm-hmm.
Buffalo's 3.
Mm-hmm.
The only team in the NFL with a tougher remaining strength of schedule is Baltimore. Baltimore's in the same division as Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not even close. Because I look at even those the tough games for Baltimore, yeah, you've got Cincinnati. You've still got one with the Jets that's in Buffalo, and frankly, you owe them one. New England, Denver, and the Chargers. I don't see a way you're losing any of the games I just said.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the Jets, because they have been a thorn, but that usually happens in New York. Dallas, do I really think Dallas is better than Buffalo? Because I personally don't. Miami, who you've already beaten the brakes off of.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kansas City and Philadelphia. Conversely, I look at Cincinnati and go, you go Kansas City, Baltimore, Jacksonville, this game with Buffalo, 2 against Pittsburgh, who just seems to keep finding ways to win games that don't make any sense, and Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 2 layup games the rest of the year. You're one of 2 teams in the NFL, I can say that about, and Baltimore's the other one.
So Cincinnati's got to have it more.
I think so, and
Okay.
I think they're going to come out with their hair on fire, that we wouldn't have lost to you if it wasn't snowing thing has gotten really lit up this week. I'm all over Cincinnati.
I'm on Cincinnati as well. Cincinnati minus the 2. Buffalo. I mean, at this point, I'm just you're going to have to get on a roll here to make me believe in you again. And I think that's where everybody should be with Buffalo. Hands off until they prove it, right? You come out here and you beat Cincinnati, then we got something to talk about. Monday Night Football, New York Jets, Los Angeles Chargers.
And we will put this as a poll on the the Overreaction Monday string.
Mm-hmm.
Give the house a little advantage over us because this number might move.
I will give you the opportunity to plant your flag first. It's your team.
Oh, I'm taking the Jets. I don't think the Chargers are a good team. I think they're very one-dimensional. I've read this book because I'm looking at how the Jets will line up. I don't really like what I've seen so far from Quentin Johnston. The tight ends don't really do much for me outside of the red zone. I don't think you run the ball particularly well, and I certainly don't think you're going to run it well here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have DJ Reed on one side, and Sauce Gardner on the other side. I don't see a lot of scoring here. Then I look at your defense and go, what is the thing that has annihilated you for 2 solid years? Teams that can run. Hasn't mattered if the lines were hurt. If it's a good running back, the good running back has eaten you alive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Breece Hall is. And I almost feel like last week against the Giants should serve as a wake-up call to Nathaniel Hackett. And I could see this being a super run-heavy script. You also got to realize they did keep Dalvin Cook on the roster in spite of the fact I know definitively that more than one team called.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, just to keep him hunky-dunky, you're going to have to give him some form of workload. If he's getting back to normal, you need that two-headed monster, and I think they are going to run it down the Chargers' throats. I love the Jets in this game.
Yeah.
I do. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense because their offense is not great. This feels like the game that gets Brandon Staley fired.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
If you remember, I said this quite some time ago.
I don't love the Jets in this matchup, but I will take it. 3.5 is too much for me.
That part doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't understand it. The Jets are at home, and you're trying to tell me that the Chargers are that much of a favorite, right? Because that'd make them almost a full touchdown favorite.
Well, you also have to, and this is, you're always the narrative guy. I'm not. The Jets haven't had a ton of primetime games like this, and the last one had a big poo in it. So, it's going to be sold out.
Mm-hmm.
There probably won't be a Charger fan within 40 miles of this stadium.
Yep.
This has buzzsaw written all over it.
I don't believe in your offense, but I believe less in the Chargers' defense. Despite the fact that they were able to get home last week, they shook things up a little bit on that front and put Bosa and Mack on the same side. And so apparently that worked pretty well, as you would imagine it would. So they were able to get home some last week. And if they could do that against your offensive line because it's not very good.
And it's killed.
Yeah. But I don't think that's enough to be a difference maker.
I don't either because I can't figure out who's supposed to defend Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You put Asante Samuel on him, this is not going to go well.
No. And he's
because that's the one thing Zach has consistently been able to do is get the ball to Garrett Wilson.
Right. And it's the best thing you have.
No doubt.
You're in the Sportsocracy, so I'll be on the New York Jets plus the 3.5 along with Jeremy. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for your final set of bangers, and we'll close it out for a Football Friday. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With White Haze, Mean Green, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Welcome your guest into a healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Today, Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialist is ready to help you get back in motion. If you're suffering with knee, hip, shoulder, or other joint or muscle pain, we have the compassionate, individualized care you need. From sports medicine to total joint replacement, we can address the pain and get you moving again. Today and every day. Visit us online at westerncarolinaortho.com or call 828-452-4131. We get you back in motion.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Get in the spirit with 50% off everything for a limited time during the holiday preview event, now through November 13th at Banana Republic Factory. From merino wool sweaters to luxe outerwear, explore our favorite styles to give and to get.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
If you've listened to this show for any period of time, you know when I give a favorite at the end of the show, it's pretty good. I am 6-2 against the spread with favorites in this segment. And this week, there's only one. Washington minus the 3 at USC. I don't care if they played this game at USC. I don't care if they played on the moon. Washington is markedly better than USC, and I really feel like Caleb Williams has quit. Is it possible that he shows up and plays the game of his life? Absolutely. Do I think that means they're going to win this game? Absolutely not. Washington is better. They're going to win this game. I would say somewhere in the range of a touchdown, 10, somewhere in there. Go aggressively over the 76.5. But that's not what you're here for.
Underdog, 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 underdog.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. The Arizona Wildcats are a 2.5-point dog against UCLA. How many times do they have to keep doing this before they get just a little shred of respect? UCLA is not nearly as good as people think they are. You look at those teams in the 20s and even the high teens, they're only here because that's how bad the mid-tier of college football is. Arizona wins outright. This one's at home. Next, LSU's a 3-point dog at Alabama. I cannot stop coming back to how is Jalen Milroe going to score with Jaden Daniels. Yes, Alabama has talent. Yes, this is at Bryant-Denny. But I really feel like LSU is the better team. They've been coming on of late, and they still have a very distant outside hope of the playoff, but it would be dashed with a loss here. And finally, Oklahoma State's a 6-point dog at home in Bedlam. They're the better team. They're the better team, and I'm not sure it's really all that close. Oklahoma has played a series of cooking schools and trade schools and got unveiled the first time they played a good team. That was Kansas. That was on the road. That was last week, and they lost. This is a better Oklahoma State team. They're also on the road, and this is a rivalry where they're really angry at them for leaving the Big 12. Give me the Cowboys. They went outright. You can take those wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit match on your initial investment and up to 30 risk-free wagers so you can wager football with us all season long.
Enjoy the weekend of football. We'll be back with you this weekend for the Fantasy Show on the YouTubes and, of course, back here on ESPN Asheville in the Ingles Studio Monday at noon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Dry high pressure locked in. Temperatures gradually warming up. Now today, sunshine. We're in the low 60s. Mid-60s is average. Tonight, mostly clear. Low near 30. That's cold. We should be in the upper 30s. Here's where we change things up. Sunshine Saturday up to 68. Upper 30s Saturday night for the low. Sunday brings sunshine, and we are headed to the upper 60s, and we get warmer from there. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
Are you a student ready to embark on your journey towards financial independence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Trailhead Student Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed exclusively for students aged 16 to 23. Your path to financial freedom begins at Mountain Credit Union. Start building a solid foundation for your future and enjoy the benefits that come with being a part of the Mountain Credit Union family. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Cut. Let's try something fresh like the new scratch-offs.
I got it. Tuesday. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday.
Cut.
It's not Monday,
Aren't you a little old to be in a boy band?
There's nothing old about getting new tickets.
Well, you're right. Maybe we stick with the original track.
New tickets every first Tuesday of the month from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
27 for the win. Good snap, good hold, kick on the way, and it's good! And the Blue Devils walk it off at Wallace Wade. 24-21, the final score. I don't know how, but somehow they got it done.
And the Blue Devils are bowl eligible.
Welcome to the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. That is Victoria. Correct me if I'm wrong, Victoria. Did I not see you here like in the third period of the hockey game?
You did.
I feel like I was just here. I was just sitting in this chair.
Me too. Well, not in that chair, but I was just here. Yeah.
Like 11 o'clock last night, I was still here.
I know.
So.
Yeah. Well, I was working on my MMA video because.
Oh, it's we have a UFC.
Violence returns this weekend.
Excellent. There's violence every weekend.
Well, there wasn't last weekend, so I'm.
A weekend without violence.
A drought. It's a drought.
It's like a day without sunshine.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
UFC São Paulo.
What?
In Brazil. They're in Brazil. Those are always good cards, too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Bet on the Brazilians.
Are they angrier in Brazil? That I don't know that.
See, home field advantage really isn't a thing, but it is for Brazilians in Brazil when it comes to MMA. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I have to take your word for it, but that's very cool.
You'll hear it in the units.
That's right. We get to that.
Place your bets. All the units will be going to MMA.
We get to that. We had a lot of football last night. No, the Steelers won a game.
Barely.
Look, there was a lot going on. I was here last night because, actually, I'm going to get to it as we start this because I have a rant.
I love a good rant on a Friday.
I mean, it's really not I would say that this is like a first world problem, but it isn't. So many people, in order to lessen their financial burden, have left cable or satellite TV.
Yes.
Even though YouTube, Hulu, other ways of bringing television into your home, even though those have grown in price, they are still, at this point, less than you're going to get from extensive cable packages.
Yeah, they usually are.
Or satellite TV. Well, the first year satellite TV's cheap, and then they double the price on you.
That's how they hook you in.
Right, exactly. It's a 2-year deal. First year is half price.
And then the fine print, it says.
Right. Second year, oh, my, wait till you see the bill for that.
Am I paying for the neighbors, too?
Right, exactly. So, at least in cable, you can probably bundle internet with it. Right, but a lot of people like me, and I think you.
Yes.
I have gone to YouTube TV. YouTube does not have an arrangement with the RSNs, which has become Bally. It was just like Fox Sports Carolinas back when, a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So for those people who are Hurricanes fans or ACC fans, right? If you want to watch State or Carolina or Duke when they're on the RSNs, and now those games will all be on the CW. So we're all winners there. But if you are a Hurricanes fan, or if for some silly reason you need to watch the Hornets, I kid. Well, you need to get Bally into your home. Now, for a couple of years, don't tell anybody this. This is between you and me, Victoria.
Okay, just us.
For a couple of years, I was using a VPN.
Right.
And whether it was NHL Center Ice, or once ESPN got the deal, the ESPN Plus gives you access to all out-of-market NHL games.
Yeah, got to do what you got to do.
Except that there's a blackout, so in order to watch Hurricanes games, I needed to pretend that my way of getting internet was actually in a different city.
Right.
Which is exactly what a VPN does.
Right.
Oh, it's security.
Sure.
Right, sure. I had a friend of mine who was, not that long ago, was working for a news organization in the United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
Okay. And there are a lot of restrictions as to what you are allowed to access on the internet in some of the countries in the Gulf. In order to access, and it's not, doesn't have to be adult content, although I'm sure it was, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that. But just to access some American sites, he needed a VPN.
Yeah.
So he had to mask where he was. So he did. Anyway, I figured because those were also problematic. There are games that are subject to blackouts. So I was still having gaps. But the only way you wouldn't have a gap is if you simply had the Bally's app.
Right, that'll fix everything.
Right, because now I have access to all the Hurricanes games and all of, before we go to the CW, before all of those games. Except the app sucks.
Yes.
So we have a problem with the app itself, and now it's broken, apparently. And I didn't even realize this because I didn't really have a problem last year with the Bally's app when I finally did get it midway through the season. I spent the first half of the year using the VPN and ESPN Plus. But I still had some gaps. Right? A game that was shown on NHL Network wasn't even available on ESPN Plus.
Right.
Which I didn't know ahead of time. So I changed to the app. I had no problem the rest of the year. And most of the games I'm home games, I'm there. I'm at the arena anyway. But the other night, I try to flip on the game against, who did we play on in Philadelphia?
Yeah, the Flyers, yeah.
Try to flip on the game in Philadelphia, and the app is broken.
Oh, well, look at that.
Anyway, it's broken on my phone, it's broken on my laptop, it's broken on my TV. It doesn't
Everywhere.
work. And I go online and see everybody's got this problem. So I figured that was Monday.
Oh, they'll have it
They'll
fixed.
figure it out. They said, we hope to have it up. They sent out a release Monday. It was on their website. Didn't send anything out. They just printed it on their website like Monday afternoon. We've had an outage. It's broken.
Technical difficulties.
We'll get it restored as soon as possible. Yesterday was Thursday. They actually put something on their Twitter handle. We have resolved the issues. Blah, 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 blah. No, you haven't.
What? Wow.
You haven't resolved your issues.
Wow.
The issues are still there. It's one thing. First of all, now it's 4 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes, which isn't immediate.
Right. It's 4 days that your app is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing that really bothers me. Where is the customer? Where's the response to the customer?
Mm-hmm.
Because in most cases, if you have a problem, I'll add a thin air because I am an AT&T mobile customer. If I've got a problem with AT&T, you can actually go on Twitter and say, hey, AT&T, whatever the handle is, right?
Right.
I have a problem. And not right away, but within an hour or so, something will show up in your direct messages. Hey, sorry, do this. I did it Tuesday. I did it yesterday. No, I did it Wednesday. I did it yesterday. I did it today.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
Bally doesn't care.
They don't.
They charge you $20 a month for the app.
Which is kind of a lot when you think about it.
It absolutely is a lot. They charge you $20 a month for the app. People who have been using the app for the last couple of years hate the app.
Yes.
And granted, it seems silly to me. The pregame show flows right into the game.
Yes.
When the game is over, the game doesn't flow into the postgame. Explain that to me.
Makes no sense.
I have to go out of the game and then go back into the postgame, and even then, it kicks you out of there. It's the dumbest app ever.
Do they want to keep people?
You should just get all of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so shame on Bally Sports.
I
Shame on
saw
them.
Mike Maniscalco trying to, put out some of the flames, but poor Mike, he can't do it all himself.
No,
Bally's needs to just...
And it's not Mike's job.
It's not.
It's not Tripp's job.
Nope.
I texted him Monday. I said, because we're doing the game, I can't get on. I'm trying everything. I texted him. I said, all right, app's broken. You're my ears tonight. You're my eyes tonight.
Yep.
And Tripp was like, what? I'm like, yeah, the app ain't working. I can't watch the game.
Still.
So, right, exactly.
This is a regular thing.
But I was here last night, and in the studio, we are a cable.
Wow.
We're
Meanwhile,
Spectrum.
they'll keep taking your $20 every single month, I'm sure.
Certainly everybody should get a refund, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the NHL shouldn't also do something here. It all depends on how long this Bally indifference, because that's what I think it is. Bally doesn't care.
It's garbage.
If they don't respond to you, the customer, then they don't care. But it is 4 days. I'm sure it's not working today. I can go to the app on my phone. Wait, am I spending too much time on this? Yes, I think I am.